flew out from Arizona. Hey.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Are you already crying? Okay, Mom.
It's important to me that if we get married, that I have a good relationship with her family. And so I'm a little nervous. Yeah, I told Bliss that.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackburn 91. My throat is killing me. Listen, I'm gonna try my best, guys. Listen, my throat is doing bits. But listen, welcome to Little Blackburn 91. We're talking to you guys about episode 9. Oh, baby, listen, the weekend was crazy. Hopefully my voice comes back. But listen, we're talking about episode 9, and we're breaking down what happened, because there's a lot that's going on. All right, we've got Bliss, we've got ZACK. I really want to break down Bliss and ZACK 100%. There's a lot I want to break down. Brett, Tiffany, you know, they were pretty cool. I loved their particular look as well. And then we also had Kwame and Chelsea, yeah, which was crazy. And also we're gonna break down Paul and Micah. So listen, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys. Hold on. Hopefully his voice comes back. But all right, cool. All right, listen, let's get into it. Listen, this episode was crazy. And I'll tell you why. Bliss, Zach, the mum, there's some stuff. There's some stuff we need to break down. And I'm gonna tell you this. I can see where I can see where there's problems, right? Because the mum and the sister, why were they so emotional before they even started? Now, did anyone else notice? Okay, I was like, yo, the mom and the sister are so emotional so quickly. Why is that? Why are they so quickly to get in their tears? This before he said anything. Like the moment they got there, they were emotional. I was like, what did she tell them? Did she tell them the full story? Did she let them know? Like, why? Literally, the mum is already dabbing her eyes. This is my sock, by the way. It's a clean one, but don't worry about it. She's dabbing her eye like this already. And I said, babe, you just reached. You just entered. You know what I mean? You haven't even been there long. You literally just got in there. And I'm like, baby, I need you not to be so emotional so quickly. So we're gonna break them down because I really want to touch them. And I think the dynamics of what I saw the mum situation. I think it says a lot. It says a lot about Bliss. And then obviously I've watched episode 10 and 11, so I know how the dad is. So I want to really be conscious of that. But the mom, for me, I was like, this is why you need a good father. And I'll tell you why. Because there was no vetting at all. There was no vetting at all. Okay? There was no vetting at all. Like the way the mom was sold already. So I was like, wait, what did Bliss tell? What story did she tell the parents? Because it looked mad weird. Anyway, let's break it all the way down. We're going to break it all the way down. Listen, if you're new to the channel, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the what uploads and the freaking hell. I cannot do it. I'm trying to do it. I said uploads. Okay. Listen, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is. You got the minerals. All right, cool. It's a bank holiday here, so we last night I was screaming, and I don't know why, but it get like that. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. Elson said, "Am I regulating tears?" Yes, we are. We are regulating tears because I regulate the men's tears. This is way too much tears. Okay, all right. It's way too many tears. Honestly, too damn many tears. But let's get into this. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. 134 you guys in the room at the moment and climbing. Let me get my earpiece in as well. All right. Let me get my earpiece. The mom just seems very happy. And I'm like, mommy, I need you to vet this man. This man done told you he chose another chick over your daughter, and you ain't stressed, but you wanna dab your eye. No, excuse me, it's a sock, but it's clean. You wanna dab your eye, okay, and be here. But I'm like, baby, can you vet this man? Please vet him. Okay, vet him. Vet him. Please. You know what I mean? Like that. I want to vet him. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But let's break it down from the beginning, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Bliss is like, you don't have anything to be nervous about, but I'm a little nervous about it.
You guys want to see my ring?
Yes.
Beautiful.
So, can you guys tell us like a little bit about your journey, like up to this point?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, all right, there's some really interesting things, okay, that are happening in this scene. Okay, so Zach is getting the opportunity to have a conversation with the mom. I think it's a sister as well, isn't it? And is that a friend or is that another sister? Not sure. And the conversation starts by it starts by Zach explaining something. Now, did anybody notice why is it that why didn't Zach tell his parents, or sorry, his family, that he chose another woman? Like, I was confused. Why is it on the screen we got to only see Zach tell her family but not tell his own family? Sir, I was like, I hope that's edited, but sir, because you chose someone else. Yeah. So I don't know why you decided to tell her family, but not tell your own family that you chose someone else called IRINA. Okay. All right. I don't know. That made me. I don't know, it made me feel some type of way. So I was like, already I was a little bit concerned by that. I was like, why are you telling your sister and your uncle or whatever he is, your brother, whatever, and then you don't tell the same thing to her family. You wait till you meet her family and then break down the whole I chose someone else. Just a little sign. Let's go.
Yeah, so we met on a social experiment, psychological experiment. I don't know how you classify it, where you're not able to
Internet trying to play me, baby.
see the other person. Having like a weird deja vu moment at this moment.
Now, what's interesting about this part is what's about to happen next. So it's what happens a little bit later on. He starts telling a story, and just as he's about to tell the story, it gets to a point where he's going to explain when he made a choice. And Bliss's face is so interesting. In fact, before he gets to that point, Bliss's face said something else. He starts telling a story and she's like, go on, tell the story. Almost as if she wants him to be more assertive about telling the story. And I was like, this is really interesting, right? I think she's drawn to men that are very, very assertive. Because her mum is so calm, but not even just calm. I see her mum as almost soft. I don't know if I say soft. Is that the right word? If I say soft, guys? The mum is very easygoing. Okay? Very easygoing. And for me, that's how you get played. And I was asking myself, why was a mum dealing with someone like Bliss's dad? He's definitely not easygoing. He's definitely going to tell you how he feels, what he's thinking, and what he's thinking at that time. So why was the mum with that person? Why did the mum choose that type of man? She's very easygoing, but almost to a point where it feels a little bit naive. And that's why I was like, then if that's the case, Bliss would have picked up that energy as well. A little bit of that naivety. Now we know Bliss chooses assholes. She said it herself. So now I can see where that's coming from. It's the mum, right? Very easygoing, almost too easygoing, without there being any like boundaries. Like, Ma, this is your daughter, and the sister was more harder on Zach than the mum was. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, he's interesting. Okay. So I said I have to ask the question, Marge, can you pick a right kind of guy? Because maybe this is also stemming from the mum too. I spoke about the dad already, and we'll get onto that in episode 10 when we break it down tomorrow. But has the mum got a good picker? Is the mum actually good at choosing men too? You know, I have to ask that question. What information did she pass on to Bliss to help her in her choosing? Because it seems like Bliss learned more from the divorce than he actually did from her mum. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It was a bit weird in that way. Too much crying for me. Too much. Okay.
Let's keep going. You are the one that has to tell the story.
Yeah.
So.
Bliss and I really clicked when she started talking to me about books. Then I realized how smart and intelligent she was, and that's what really attracted me.
All right, cool. So this is consistent. He's told the story, I mean, 1 or 2 times. He has said consistently, it's the books. Okay, it's the books that get him excited. Yeah. So no problem there. Consistent in the story. It's keeping it in alignment. We're not vexed at that. All right. That's good. That's cool. No biggie. No problem. We understand it. Right. But even there, if you watch, she even encouraged me. It's like, you got to tell a story. Almost like, don't look at me. You got to tell the story, right? Because she did the exact same thing for his family. Now, I don't know. There's something interesting about this scene. And when it gets a bit later on, we'll get there. But there is something very interesting about the way he discusses the choice. But I want to get there in a second.
To her, and she is brilliant. She's beautiful. She is driven and she's fierce.
That's right. Watch out, buddy.
She's thoughtful. I mean, there's not many women who dream of being on the moon at age 6.
All right, cool. Again, this is all kind of fluff for me. He's explaining about the situation with how he likes her and thinks she's amazing. I think we have to add a caveat here, right? First and foremost, Okay. I don't like second choices. Okay. I don't. Okay. I don't like second choices. I think second choices are a problem. I think they are second choices for a reason. And he didn't choose her out of second choice because he was like, you know what? Hey, I made a mistake. No, he chose her after he had already fully got into a situation with Irina, got rejected, then came back. So even when he's telling me all this great stuff, I hear it. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, but you chose somebody else. Do you know what I mean? Trauma or no trauma, he chose another woman and made that mistake. And then it's doubling back. No. And this is why I'm saying I'm the mum walked in there crying, she dabbing her eye. Like again, I said the clean soccer's clean, dabbing her eye. Okay. And it's like you're sold already. And that's my biggest issue. The mum looked like she was sold already. This man, you don't know him from Adam. You don't know him from anywhere. It's almost as if the mum and the dad are extremes. That's what I saw. The mum and the dad are extremes. The mum is too agreeable. The dad is too harsh. And it's like literally, they are on two polar opposite ends. That's extremes. It's like, yo, I hear what you're saying, but Ma, you came in crying and you're just so accepting of him. And it wasn't even a mum that was even really asking too heavy questions. It's more the sister, right? So I'm like, look, and then Bliss, she tried to make ZACK work for coming back and everything, but you weren't really making him do anything. Let's be honest. You weren't really testing him. You weren't really pushing him. Let's be honest. I mean, you might have been playing Hard to Get, and I would sing it, but my voice gone. She's playing hard to get. But it wasn't that tough. I'll be honest with you.
When I look at who she is, I don't think there's anyone else that I could make a bigger impact in the world with by my side. And getting to know her character has been really impressive.
All right, cool. Can we be honest? And also, I want to. Someone said she folded like a pancake. But can we be honest as well, right? I want to be very honest as well. So I don't know if you guys noticed, and I don't know if maybe I'm reading too much into it, and if I missed something. But have you noticed ZACK always talks about how he appreciates that she loves him? Anyone else notice that? Anyone else notice that he always talks about how she loves him? Anyone else notice that? And then it's almost as if, and I'm going to say this for you guys, men that are emotionally wounded will always look to receive rather than give. Ooh, my voice went there. But men that are emotionally wounded will look to receive rather than give. They are always looking to be on the receiving end. I feel like that's where ZACK is. This is going to become a problem. This is why Bliss always ends up in asshole situations, because what she sees is somebody who's broken and hurt, and she always looks to give. But the wounded man always wants to receive. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Yeah. So in all these instances, I'm like, wow. I'm not saying ZACK hasn't said that he loves Bliss. He has. But even in this scene, he literally was like, I love the way she loves me. And I was like, oh, I think ZACK just wants someone to love him. You want what your mom couldn't give you. Now, of course, she said your mom was unconditional love, but she couldn't always be there. She was doing things that had to, be away. So now I'm like, okay, I get it now. And so you have, ladies, for you, be very careful. Wounded men are always wanting to receive, not give. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to give a personal perspective so you understand where I'm coming from. When I was much younger, due to the background of where I was coming from, when I was dealing with women, I was very loving, but I needed so much love back. And when I say so much, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have love, but I needed them to love me so much. And I wasn't as stable as I needed to be. I wasn't as, and I don't know how to explain this. I was loving, but I wasn't necessarily giving the love. More, I was receiving it. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's almost as if, like, where I'm now and how I look at love, the Bible describes that, God loved us first, right? So God is able to put his love out there first. So, when you put your love out there first, you lead in that. When I look at my youth, I wasn't that way. I was wounded. So I could I could give love, but I was always in a place where I needed that I think someone said reassurance. I always needed that love that was reassuring rather than being able to give it freely. You know what I mean? And so that aspect of ZACK, I can see it in him. And so when women are wounded, they tend to give more. Right? When women are wounded in a particular way, they want to give even more in a hope of returning it back to them. They look for projects to invest their love in to get it back. And so when the man is wounded, he looks to be a receiver rather than a giver. So I found myself in places where, of course, there's parts of me that was giving, don't get it twisted, but I realized much more I was much more wanting to receive. And when I didn't receive, that's where I got hurt. That's where I'll get annoyed or pissed off, right? And this voice got to come back quickly. So I think for me, one of the hardest things, I think, growing up and maturing, I realized, I need to be in a place of giving. I'm more in a place of receiving. I'm very sensitive. I want to, almost like Kwame also too. Kwame's got the exact same thing. He's looking for somebody to love him. You get me? Like Kwame's looking for someone to love him. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have women that love us. I'm not saying that at all, guys. I'm not saying a man shouldn't want a woman to love them. What I'm saying is you can't effectively give and you can't stand in an effective place to actually judge properly because you're always wanting to receive, to be propped up and reassured. When you're in that place where you want to always be reassured, okay, you struggle to give back the same way. Now, I'm watching ZACK, and his words are telling me what he actually is thinking and feeling. The reason why he really loves Bliss is because she's giving. Where he failed with IRINA is that with IRINA, she stopped the giving. She stopped the giving. She rejected it completely. And then he went back to the place where he would receive love. Again, nothing necessarily wrong with receiving love. Okay? Nothing necessarily wrong with that. But what I'm saying is you can't give effectively. Right? So, yeah. Yeah, I know, guys. I need tea. Don't worry. I'll have it after the show, guys. Don't worry.
Okay. That's very sweet, baby. It's all because of my mom. Seriously, though.
I'm glad that you realize her worth because she is... Here, I said I wasn't going to cry.
So the sister's going to cry. I'm like, Now the sister's going to cry too. So now the sister's also crying too. It's like, we ain't even got there yet. We haven't even got there yet, guys. We have not reached a position or point, but they're crying already. And I'm like, yo, is everybody going to cry? No, I mean, listen, I'm not saying people can't cry. I'm just saying it's too early. You know what I mean? It's too early. We let him land. Let him explain some of the story. And what did Bliss tell them? My thing is this. I don't think Bliss told them the story. I personally don't. I personally don't think Bliss told them the story. Because if they did, I don't think they would be as soft as they are. Which makes me think, why isn't Bliss telling them the full story? Because she looked embarrassed when he starts telling the full story. This tells me, right? This tells me that, wait, hold on a minute. Why haven't you told him the full story? Why haven't you told him about the fact that he chose someone else? Because you're looking for the perfect story. See, when you say the story, it sounds mad. When you tell the story, it don't sound good. When you tell the story, people ain't gonna get behind it like that. They ain't gonna be excited. Do you see what I'm saying to you? So I'm looking at it, I'm going, sis, you've already started. I'm not saying you have to tell your family the whole thing, right? I'm not saying that you tell your family every single thing that happens in a relationship, but this is a big thing. This is a big thing. So now, and you know, yes, it's a good point. She doesn't want the pushback. Of course she doesn't, right? Because it's gonna feel like control. All right.
You're gonna make me cry now.
She is worth more than gold. She is like one of the most important people in my life. And that is what I want for her. I want somebody who's going to know what her worth is and treat her with the respect that she deserves. And because she's our princess. She's our
Okay. So she is a princess of the family. She is the princess of the family, and absolutely right. Look, so I think we have to look at it from a family dynamic perspective. Bliss has seen a divorce that was messy, right? The mom is soft, very agreeable. The dad is harsh, and in some ways, kind of rude. All right, kind of rude, right? And what's interesting is that she said her dad has never liked any of her past boyfriends. But we didn't get to hear about her mum, whether her mum liked any of the past boyfriends. Did the mum like any of the past boyfriends? I think this is important. Can we be honest? This is really important because in the pods, she said her dad has never liked any of her past boyfriends, but she didn't really say her mum liked all the boyfriends either. Now, if the mum did like all the all the boyfriends, we got an interesting situation because it sounded like Bliss agreed with the fact that her dad saw the men as assholes. You know what I mean? So if the mum didn't feel like they were assholes, what was the mother seeing in the past boyfriends? That's what I'm saying about the vetting needs to be worked on. I don't think we've got effective vetting going on. You feel me? So I don't know. And of course, yes, Jeanette, I don't even know. I wonder if that is a sister. I wonder. That's a very good point. I don't even know if that's a sister that moved to Arizona. I bet it is. It feels like it. You know, it does feel like that. So that's a good point. I never thought about that. You know, let me get this point. Okay, cool.
I hadn't told a woman that I love them since I was like 21.
Why was that? Why is that?
It's hard for me to say. I think ordinarily I'm not a very vulnerable person, but I knew going into the experiment that if I wanted to be serious about it.
Okay, so he just told us that you know what, he just basically told us for him, you know, he personally, right, he hasn't told anyone he loved them since 21. Okay, and now they're in a position where he's sitting in front of the family and he's saying, again, I don't know if it was edited, but I don't think they would edit this part out. Where does he say, I love Bliss? Because I don't remember in the scene him saying, I love Bliss. So I'm confused. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Right? He starts telling us by saying, I've never told anyone I love them since 21. I'm not saying, again, he has told Bliss that he loves her. We know that already. I can guarantee that in the last few episodes. I've seen it somewhere. I can't remember where. But even in the scene, it doesn't lead to him saying, I love her. It leads elsewhere. Let's just have a little look.
I was going to have to be vulnerable with not just one person, but a lot of different people. And the downside to being vulnerable with multiple people is that sometimes you can get feelings.
Okay, so he now says this, you know, that, you know, that hasn't said I love you since whatever. You have to be vulnerable, and now it gets to a point where you're in you get to a point where you're in a pod, and yeah, you end up. This is what he's going to say. He's going to end up loving two people. Now, what's really interesting about this is, what's really interesting about this, I think, is how, again, see how it never ended up in him saying I love her. I don't know. My mind is kind of playing this like it never ended with him saying, I love her. It ended with him saying, I ended up loving two people, not loving Bliss. Just an observation. Just saying. Just an observation. You know, I'm just pointing that out. Let's go.
For more than one person at the same time.
Now look at Bliss's face. Look at Bliss's face. Look at Bliss's face. Because she know that don't sound too good. Now, my thing is, did you tell the family? Clearly not, because your face is even telling me that you ain't tell them. Your face is telling me you never told your family. Now, if you never told your family, it's because you don't want the perception of him to be changed. You don't want his perception to look like he's an asshole, because that's how he's going to come across. He's going to look like he an asshole. And he's going to look like all the past boyfriends. This is why I said Bliss is a problem. That I'm not saying that she's a problem as ZACK is, but what I am saying is this is why issues happen in relationships and people repeat cycles, because they're doing the exact same thing again. And more than likely, the reason why Bliss never told her mum as well is because she doesn't trust the mum. And probably the reason why she doesn't trust the mum is because, again, going for a divorce and then you having to kind of self-soothe, look after yourself, and maybe you lose sometimes the contact with parents and you don't have as much connection sometimes because, you know, you're trying to, children are very, they can be very, you know, feeling based, and they'll try to accommodate the situation and they'll try to not be a nuisance and a bother. And so it's like, and I'm going to put this, thank you, Bernice, for saying this. Look, when I talk about men being very nice, I talk about the problems of manipulation that comes with being nice. When we talk about women being nice, there is a problem with it too. Their nicety is really about them, okay? All right? Then their nicety is really about them wanting to be liked, right? And I think if we can break something down really key here, she's seen a very messy divorce, okay? It's probably hurt her in a particular way as a kid. Her being super nice is about her being liked. Her being super nice is about her getting attention. Her being super nice is really more about wanting not to be a nuisance and to be seen and heard. I'm not saying she isn't nice as an individual person, but the reality is this is too much niceness. It's too much. This is too much. This isn't about this, and this is where we have to just take accountability. This is where some women who are like Bliss have to be accountable, because how many times can you be in a situation like this? Do you get what I'm saying to you? Right? She chooses assholes. She chooses them because she's nice, not kind. There's a difference between the two. I want to make this very clear. Kindness, niceness are two different things. In fact, nice is not even a good it's not even a good description. Right? You want to be kind. Kindness understands boundaries. All right? Niceness does not. Niceness is about being liked. I do things to receive. It's not about a quality. Niceness is about doing it so that the person can like you. And this is what I'm saying about Bliss. She's nice. She's not kind. All right? She's nice. She's not kind. Kindness knows boundaries. It understands I can be kind, but I have some boundaries. And better yet, let me say this. Niceness versus good. Two different things. Nice guy or nice girl versus good guy, good girl. Nice girls, they use their niceness as manipulation. This is why when she was talking in the pod, I spoke about how she was judgmental. Because the reality is when the real Bliss comes out, please stand up. Please stand up. It's going to come up. Oh, I'm telling you. Look, the one thing about Bliss is that her niceness is masking the judgmentalness that comes underneath. I'm telling you, bro. Look, her niceness is covering up the judgment is coming out. And it came out in the pod very momentarily where she said, I'm going to question your judgment. Question whose judgment? I'm gonna judge you if you choose IRINA. That niceness has manipulation wrapped inside of it. This is why I said that being nice is oftentimes manipulative, Being kind is a state, is a quality of state. It's what you, it's who you are. Being nice is what you do, and you do that because you're trying to get back. It's a manipulation tactic, and I know some of you might not like it because you think she's really cool, and I get it. She is. I'm not saying she ain't cool, but she's got manipulative tendencies because they come through the niceness. Right? I'm telling you, what the part that's gonna see her dad come out in him, in her. I'm telling you, the way the same. You see how the dad was. See how the dad was judgmental. You see how the dad was so judgmental so quickly. Oh, you don't do sports. Oh, you don't do sports too. Oh, okay, here's a judgment. Same thing is gonna happen with Bliss. That judgmental spirit gonna come out. Right? It gonna come out. Being nice, I'm telling you, it gonna show. Okay. Yeah. Well, Zach should be judged, but not by her. You don't get to judge her. You don't get to judge his judgment. And if you do, it makes you look bad. Because if he chose IRINA and then you accepted him back, what does that say about you? Right? No. Let's deep it. You know, let's deep it. Okay. So if she's gonna judge him about his choice in IRINA, what does it say about you when you accept him back, choosing you second? And this is it, Stephanie. You said that is it. So that nice thing is going to fade away. It's going to fade away. Okay? It's going to fade away. And when he sees the real Bliss, when she gets frustrated, that's what we're going to know. Can this work? See, right now, she ain't frustrated. Right now, she ain't angry. Right? Right now. I'm telling you, look, and these are the kind of things, and so listen, if they work on it, hey, I ain't even mad. If they actively work on it, it's gonna be great. But I'm telling you, his trauma is not done. Her trauma is not done. And so this is going to come out later on. Right now, it's all roses. Right now, it's all pretty. Right now, it's all beautiful. It's all cute. But when the road hits the is it when the road hits the tarmac, or anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You know, when things get real, I'm telling you, you're gonna see it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah. So when that Bliss comes out, how's he gonna react when he realizes when he realizes? Thank you, Kay. How's he gonna react when he realizes Bliss isn't so nice now? That's what I'm asking. Right? So how are you? And then my point is, again, to finish this off, how can she be so judgmental about his choice when you've been meeting assholes? Right? And she went toe to toe with her dad. I think Andre said that earlier on. She went toe to toe with her dad. Again, I'm not saying she's a pushover. We're not saying she is. We're saying nice people are like this. Right? Nice people are like this. They mask characteristics underneath. That in her, it gonna come out. It gonna come out, and we'll see how he will deal with her. You know, so yeah. We're gonna see.
I ended up in a situation where I had to choose between two girls that I'd never actually met. And
You're just telling them everything.
I mean, might as well, right?
You can.
I don't.
Pause. Did you see that? Bliss was like, "Oh, you're just gonna tell them everything?" Yeah. But my question is, why did he tell that? The difference is that she was narrating at his family day, and Bliss was, and then, you know, she was narrating at his family day. He's narrating at her family day. But the reality is, you know, you listen to the way that she just told him there. Listen, hey, so you want to tell them everything? Yeah, baby, because Guys, my laptop froze. So whilst it's restarting, I'll wait for it to restart. It'll restart in a few seconds. So but yeah, no, as I was saying, so the situation with Bliss and Zach, we're gonna find out how he feels when we're gonna find out how he feels about her when obviously the realness hits. Now the conversation there, you saw her face, right? Her face literally told that was like, and her face was like, oh, why is he telling her this? And I'm like, Bliss, why would you not want him to tell them this story? Why haven't you done it ahead of time so that when I get there, there isn't an issue? Why is it that we're in this situation? Like, why are we? Why we got to a point where you're looking at a situation and you're seeing the fact that you're now having to be in a new space of territory, telling your parents something that you should have got ahead of the game with. And that's why I said, okay, Bliss, what are you trying to sell? What is Bliss trying to sell here? Because clearly, this ain't the full story. Until he tells that part of the story, it's not the full story. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Until he releases that information or you tell that information, they haven't got the full story. And absolutely right. Yes, absolutely right. They are afraid of, the repercussions, if you want to call it that. Right. And I get that. I do understand the repercussions can be difficult sometimes. You're scared that, people are going to feel some type of way. But that means you're already prejudging how they're going to judge the situation, how it's going to look. It means you're already preempting how they're going to feel about the situation. Now that's really interesting, because if you're already preempting, it means you kind of already know what they're going to say and how they're going to judge the situation with you. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Right? I'm going to come back onto my phone. So let me just. There we go. All right, cool. We're back. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, she's already preempting the situation with her parents, and that's quite interesting, because then that something's not quite right. Personally, something's not quite right. Let's have a little look. All right.
Might as well, right?
You can't.
I don't know. I can see even talking about it makes Bliss really uncomfortable.
Okay, so yeah, so she said what she's saying now. She's on, like, he can see that she's uncomfortable, and she's feeling some type of way. And I love that point, Chrissy, as well. She can't, you're right, she can't fully defend it yet. She hasn't found something that can counteract it. Otherwise, what she could have done would have been like, this situation happened, but you know what? We've been so amazing since. Da, da, da. And I think because, as someone said it else, part of her is nervous. Part of her is nervous. Part of her is in doubt. Part of her is in doubt with the situation, in a sense of, I don't know if, I think part of her thinks to herself, can this really work? Can this really work? Because she hasn't found a way to get round it. You know what I'm saying? She hasn't found a way to kind of explain it away, so that was quite interesting, so it's like, okay, cool. I hear you.
So it's really awkward talking about
That's
it.
okay.
Yeah, we want to know.
Go ahead.
Keep going. Keep going.
It's the way that they're saying that they want to know. They want to know. It's okay. I'm like, oh, okay. So you want to know everything, right? You want to know it all? Like, is that what you're saying? But again, I think what's clear about the situation is, when people, and I think Andre put it best, when people don't tell you the full truth, it's because they're wanting you to align with what they're saying rather than challenge them. Right? the reality is when people tell you half truths, it's because they don't want you to have any form of pushback. They don't want you to give them a different point of view. They don't want to be they don't want to stop what they're doing. This is the reality. She didn't tell them because she doesn't want to be stopped. Right? She does not want to be stopped. She does not want somebody to stop her progressing with ZACK. In fact, I think if the family went against her, she would push even further along. Right? So now what's happening is you are going to do this regardless. You ain't going to hear nothing. Right? Your mom should have been. Look, guys, pay attention. This is really important. The mum is more agreeable, far more than the dad. Way more. So wouldn't it be that she told the mum, not the dad? You hear it? Wouldn't it be that the mum would be more easier to tell because the mum is agreeable? Wouldn't it be easier? I would almost surmise that the mother would potentially end up supporting you. I would almost surmise that the mother would actually support your decision, even if she heard this story earlier on, because she heard it now and didn't give no pushback. So why wouldn't you tell your mom? That tells me, irrespective, no matter what, you're going to do whatever you want to do. You're going to do whatever you want to do. This is why you keep meeting assholes, because you're going to do what you're going to do. You see what I'm saying to you? So this makes me think now that, okay, at this point, Bliss, you don't want no one to control, have a say. You don't want no one to input. You don't want no one to really have any ability to change your decision or your mind.
So I ended up having feelings for two different women at the same time. I never ever wanted to be in that situation. There.
Now look at the mom. Look at this, mom's. That told me everything. Did you see how the mom reached over to, put a hand on her daughter, offered her emotional support, which I think is fair. It's great. I love it. But it seems like she's more concerned with Bliss's feelings in this moment than really protecting it. And when I say protecting it, by saying something, like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, in that moment, the mum reached over, and I get it. She's offering that support, and I'm not against it. But how I read it was like, so the concern was more about her emotionally supporting her rather than actually protecting her. And the protection, sometimes it means telling somebody, baby, this is some cray-cray stuff. Absolutely. Great point. Great point. It's treason. It is treason. It's treason. It is treason. And this is why I feel, and I don't like everything the dad does, but this is why the dad has so much issues with Bliss. Because Bliss, he sees the wife, his ex-wife, in Bliss. Right? She sees the ex-wife in Bliss. Right? So now I'm seeing it and I'm going, okay, that's why he was so angry. No. That's part of why he's so angry. Let me put it that way. That's why he's partly so angry or so frustrated. It's like you're being an airhead. You're just being emotional. You're not actually checking the situation. You're making an emotional decision, which also requires some level of logic, which is what he actually said. He said, you're not using any logic. Because part of the decision has to be some type of logic. So when you make decisions based on just how you feel, rather than looking at the facts as well, you make mistakes. You know what I mean? You make mistakes. So what? That's why part of what he was saying was correct. It's just the delivery was really bad, really bad. Okay, really bad, right? But there was some truth to what he's saying. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. And I'm saying it beforehand. If you're a dad, if you are a father in the making, I want to let you know your relationship with your daughter is crucial, right? Not saying the son one isn't crucial, but what happens to young girls, and when I spoke to people about their history, they tried to rebel against trusting your judgment if you've treated them badly or if you treat the mum badly. This is why I would say that when people tell me that, when men say I can be a great father but a shitty husband, I say to them, you're missing a crucial point here. Children learn through watching behavior. So if you're a crappy parent, if you're a crappy lover, you're gonna actually have some crappy parenting as well. Because as you say something, the child actually watches what you do, not what you say. And this impacts the child later on in a relationship. Now, I'm not saying that you can't make it work. There are that is part of your parenting too. But part of it also is because that child is just blessed. Some of you don't realize some kids are just blessed, right? Some of the children are just blessed. Let's keep it real. But let's be honest now. A lot of issues that we're having in our community is that if you are a crappy lover, you're also a crappy parent, because that child is learning from what you did, not what you said. Now you can say, hey, don't choose a bad man, but you were showing her what a good man is meant to be. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Right? So if the father was crappy, I'm not saying he is, I'm just saying if the father was crappy in the relationship, yeah, he gonna be crappy as a father. Right? So in this instance, right? In this instance, the way the father was so dismissive of her points, was so dismissive of her feelings, so dismissive of her personally, it's like, oh, okay. Well, then she gonna choose someone like that, who doesn't really honor her feelings, doesn't really honor her truth. Okay. Now, what's key here is that the mom, instead of protecting her feelings, kind of just admonished her feelings. And that's what doesn't need to happen in this instance, unfortunately. But here we go.
Certainty. I talked with Bliss about whether I was going to fit in with your family. I really didn't know if it would work when we got into the real world.
I mean, none of us did. That's the point, is to experiment.
So what did he just say here? He said, I wasn't sure if it was going to work in the real world. Why? Why didn't you think it was going to work in the real world? Why did you think it's not going to work in the real world? Do you see what I'm saying to you? What is that? Right? So now, if you weren't sure it's going to work in the real world, what made you sure now it'd work in the real world? If you weren't sure before, and this is my problem, if you weren't sure before that it'd work in the real world, what is making the difference now that make you feel like it will work in the real world now?
Yeah. And yeah, I made the wrong decision. I ended up realizing that the person that I had proposed to was there for the wrong reasons. And so I called it off.
Now, he too also knows that ain't the full story. Okay, the reality is he not only did choose this woman, he chose her, proposed, and went on honeymoon and everything like that and got rejected. That's the true story. That's the true story. That's the full story. That's the full story. The full story here in reality is that you actually got rejected. Not that you chose, not that you realized it was wrong. You got rejected. Yeah, she was holding it in for some reason. Yeah, and no one was asking any questions, which is really weird. It's like, why were they not asking questions? Right? Why were they not asking questions? Why are they not asking questions? Because they know she's gonna do what she's gonna do. No, I know he's not gonna say that, but the problem is they're going to see that. See, you can get away with it if nobody sees the show. You can get away with it if this happens in the blindness and the darkness of being in the comfort of nobody knew. But this didn't happen. This happened on TV. So you can't actually hide anything, because later on they're gonna find out. They're gonna find out. And that's what I'm saying, it's a little bit different. Do you see what I'm saying to you? That's why I said it's a little bit different. So you're actually right. I wouldn't expect him to tell it if, like, if no one can see it, then why say it? But we can see it because it's on the TV screen. So now the family gonna see it later on. He gonna be going around to a family dinner. They're gonna be hating him. They're gonna be hating him.
So
oh,
yeah, go ahead and ask him questions. Feel free to be a little.
Now, I love this point. Okay, so I love this part, right? I want you to pay attention to this part, guys, right? Something I picked up on. Let me just something that I picked up on in the scene here between and this is why I said that Bliss is nice. Okay. What she says here is really interesting, Bliss. But what happens with the mom and the sister is also really interesting in terms of their agreeability, right? Watch this. This is, yeah. Elle said you saw it. Elle said you saw it. Really, you saw it. That's exactly what I was going to tell her. That's exactly what I was going to say. Elle said saw it, but we're going to play it.
So yeah, go ahead and ask him questions. Feel free to be a little mean. Throw some wine in his face. You know, might deserve it.
can we go?
Now, listen. Two things are happening here. Okay. All right. Two things are happening here. All right. Number one, Bliss, if you heard her correctly, said, feel free to go hard on him. You know, joking around saying, throw some wine in his face. Da, da, da. But no. She genuinely wants you to go hard on him. No, she wants you to vet him. Now, I'm not saying she wants the dad version. No, she doesn't want the dad version. But she does want him to be vetted. And she wants the support to be vetted. But the problem is you never allowed us in. Right? The problem is you never allowed anybody in. So Bliss, you want them to vet her, but you want to vet them in a particular way. I get it. The way your dad vets, you don't want him to vet like that. And I agree. But you want your mom to vet. But the thing is, her mom is too agreeable to vet accordingly. So now that's why I said there are two extremes. You know what I mean? There are two extremes on each side. So now there should be a vetting process, but they're not vetting. Right? But that's what she wants. So that she can confirm it. But you never let everybody into the information. You never told them about the situation with you and him choosing someone else. So why would you how are you going to expect them to vet them appropriately? You know what I mean? Listen, Mary J, yeah. At this point, the mama just wants her married, wants her with kids and grandchildren. That's at that point, that's what it is, right? So it's interesting. The mom was going to speak and the sister was going to speak. And the mom was like, oh, okay, no worries. Go ahead, sis. And I was like, wait, maybe I'm coming from a too much African household. Maybe there's trauma there or something. But I wouldn't have expected the mom to defer to her in that moment. I'm not saying that you can't be courteous and polite, but she actually has rank here, the mom does, right? The mom has rank here. And I wonder if my two things are on my mind. The mom is just too agreeable, too nice, and, too accommodating. Or two, maybe the relationship with her mom and Bliss is considerably different than the sister. And maybe she realizes the sister's got a better relationship with Bliss in order to say what needs to be said. Maybe that's why as well, too. Yeah. So I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, okay. All right. That's very true, Elsid. That's very true. Maybe she is trying to not do what the father was doing, but she still had rank. You know what I mean? She still had rank. She wouldn't, by her overriding her daughter in that moment, going, okay, I'll go first and then you can talk after, right? Would have been cool. Would have been cool. So I was expecting the mom to be like, okay, hold on, don't worry. Not in a rude way, just be like, oh, I'll go first and then you can go after. but then she accommodated the daughter so quickly. It was like, okay, so wait, what kind of dynamics do they have already? You know, let's go.
So what makes you sure about Bliss now that you want to be with her? That because you know her family is a big part of her life, and you
Now the sis obviously is not getting to ask those key questions about what's about him choosing a Bliss as well. Now I think this is really important because we see her body language shift and change because he starts holding her hand. Yes, El Cid, that's also very true. She is looking for that. The mom is looking for any telltale sign, but the mom just needs to tell her, listen straight, girl, I don't like this. Okay, I don't like it. So that's all. That's fair. That's fair. That each person beside a little sister got a chance to speak, which speaks volumes. That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, I think the mom did know that she has a better questioning. I agree with that as well.
I mean, I grew up in poverty. I grew up in with not much stability. I literally had to teach myself most everything. I mean, my mom gave me unconditional love, and my mom's passed away.
Yeah, all the waterworks for me at this point. I said, yeah. At this point, the waterworks are too much for me. I said it's too much for me. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's too much for me. It's too much for me. I can't deal. No, I can't. Like I saw this, I was like, I was like, wait, how do we get into your mom? You know what I mean? Like at that point, I was like, how do we get into your mom? Like what?
So she's not around anymore. But I've been in relationships in the past with women who came from very well-to-do families where I was definitely not accepted by their family.
So once again, why are we on this part of the comment? The question was, what's changed in a sense. The question was around about what's changed. And my thing is, what has changed? We're now talking about your mom. You know what I mean? Like, yo, the question was about what's changed. We're talking about your mom now. So for me now, I'm looking at going, this ain't right, y'all. You know what I mean? Like so you have to actually deep it. Okay. You have to deep it that this is now going away from the question, and I hear it and I get it. The mom situation is peak. Right? But now these people are in, and the reason why about tears, we're now in tears and we can't vet properly as well. So now I'm just like, yo,
because of how I grew up. I think that is what really made me nervous, is like hearing about how your family is and that.
Okay, so he goes on to explain that what made him nervous was obviously again, because he's been rejected before, and he felt like they may reject him as well. So, but what has changed? What has changed? That's what I'm trying to find out. What has changed, sir? What made a difference? That's the question we're asking. What has changed? What's made a difference? What has, what's made because at this moment we don't know what's changed. We just know that you were scared of rejection. Okay, so that's what I'm like. What's happening here? Who's vetting him?
So when I talk about like my fear about not being accepted, it's that. Like Romeo and Juliet didn't work out, right? Like
Right.
they tried.
Yeah.
They tried to make it work, but it didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's too much emotion for me. Yeah, it's too much emotion for me. Yeah, too much emotion for me. It's too much emotion for me. I'm sorry, I can't deal. That's too much emotion for me. We need to be looking and seeing what's going on. Okay, we can't do that if we're crying all the time. Okay, we can't do that if we're crying all the time. Yo, it'll be wild out here. Now, I'm not even gonna even say that he's trying to be manipulative. I'm saying in a sense of the fact that he didn't even answer the question, so he's not. Well, maybe he's manipulative. Did he not understand the question? Right? Did you not understand the question? I don't know.
That's really was one of the things that scared me. But I think when I saw her and we met for the first time in the real world, she walked in the room and I was like, oh, wow. And I felt this connection with her immediately. And she had like this.
Negro, what connection? No. What you felt was what we call attraction. What you felt is what we call attraction, sir. Okay, because in that moment, remember, we know you already know you had a good connection with her. We know from the pods. But when she walked in, what you felt was you put a face, and it's a good-looking face, to now the person you knew in the pod. So wow. No, please, sir, come on now. She fine. That's what it was. Okay, and it made you realize if I can get this woman, I'm winning. She really fine. If I can get this, I'm really winning. It made him want to even do it even more. It made him want to go after her even more. Right? That's what it really was. She was mad pretty, and he was like, raw. I've upgraded from IRINA, raw. I made a big mistake. As a man, let me just be honest, just be real. Andre, you said it earlier on, innit? I know you said it earlier on, Andre. You said it earlier on. So, look, I'm just saying, you knew, you realized, you saw Bliss and it was like, blood. She's finer than IRINA. I'm willing to overcome my fear of rejection because she's a baddie. Because her family ain't changed. The reason why you didn't choose her is because you felt there was trauma there. You had trauma and you were scared of being rejected. That's the reason why you chose her, right? Do you see what I'm saying to you?
A serious face because she didn't want me to know how she felt. But
I didn't know how I was going to feel.
Yeah, but I could feel it.
I hadn't seen you before.
What did you feel?
Just warmth. Yeah, just this warm feeling. Yeah.
But you had that in the pod, though, bro. But you had that in the pod. You see what I'm saying to you? You had that in the pod. Okay? You had that in the pod and nothing really changed. Okay? So, personally, I don't know. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit.
Or
Let's
how
get
you
this
look at anyone, the way that you look at him. I mean, that speaks volumes.
Everything comes to those who wait so slow.
Hold your hand.
This is too easy. This is too easy. The mom was like, oh my God, like, I've never seen you look at anybody the way you look at him. Come on now. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Come on now. Come on, mom. Come on. I like you, ma, but come on. Okay? Yeah? Mom was like, I've never seen you look at anybody. Yes, you have. I'm telling you right now. Yes, you have. Knowing Bliss and how she looks into men further than the way that she looks at the good of men, beyond even how they look at themselves. Come on now. You know you've seen it before. You know you've looked at it before.
I am feeling a world of emotions. I'm feeling.
So this is where the mom starts saying some bad. This part is funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. This part finished me because mom was like, you know what? I'm just looking for them grandbabies. I said, Ma, 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 please, Ma. Ma, we cannot be. You cannot be thinking about this right now, Ma. Do you not hear the story? You're sold already? Ma, come on. Come on, Ma. You got to be better than this, man.
At the same time, I have to default to the fact that I really trust Bliss. I think he's really maybe a soulmate to her. If you guys have kids, then I...
Wait, hold on. I need to go back. I think I missed a part of what she just said. I'm going to go back. I missed the first part of what she said. Rebecca said that my mom is like Bliss, mom. I'm worried. Oh, gracious. You know, listen, it be like that, you know. The mom is a baddie. I ain't gonna lie to you. Mom looking good. Don't get it twisted. That's why the dad was there for so long. Mom looking good. You know, and she be wearing them heels that Sean likes too. So, you know.
Feeling a world of emotions and feeling a little protective. You know, as a mom, I don't want her to be hurt. At the same time, I have to default to the fact that I really trust Bliss. I think he's really maybe a soulmate to her.
Now, what's interesting is that she says she defers back to Bliss because she really trusts Bliss. I'm like, how do you trust her if she has had five, oh, sorry, not five, but has had previous boyfriends that are assholes? I'm just saying, how can you really trust Bliss and be like, I really trust her when she chooses assholes? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, okay. I hear you.
If you guys have kids, then I will give you my methods. I'll pass that on to you.
So we just got one mom if we have kids to raise them. So it's real important that it works out.
Oh, if my daughter chooses you, then I'll be your mom too.
I mean, God bless the mom. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, God bless the mom. I think if they meet the right guy, this is beautiful. You know, this is beautiful. Yet, this is Jennifer. You've hit it on the head. For some reason, Bliss is the one who is a leader. I don't know what it is, but something about Bliss, and that's what I'm saying to you. The real Bliss, please stand up. Just saying. So I'm just saying here at this moment, why is it that Bliss is a leader? Maybe that's it. Maybe she's the smartest one in the room. Maybe she is the smartest one, most educated person in the room. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they also helped her get out of the marriage. Maybe that too. Maybe they were helping her in a divorce. You know, maybe they were her emotional support in those moments. But why is she the one that is deferred to as a leader? That they give her that much trust. And maybe that's why also Bliss couldn't tell them. Because she knows she's seen as a leader. So how can she, how could she actually tell them this? Because then she wouldn't be she wouldn't look as a strong leader. Right? Bliss taking care of her family. That's probably true. As funny as that sounds, that's probably true. You know, as funny as that sounds, that's probably very, very true. And also another thing is maybe the way she challenges dad. Yes. Maybe the way that she's able to challenge him and stand up to him and, you know, and actually let him know it ain't going to be me. It ain't going to be me. I'm going to let you know that I don't like the way you're talking right now. Maybe that's also part of it as well. You know, hey, it's real, you know, but it's a deeper introspection of it. So, yeah, that is very interesting. That's very interesting. Now hearing that. All right, let's move it along because I've been talking about them for time. I didn't realize I was going to talk about them, but I did want to go deeper with them because I felt like they needed a deeper conversation. I couldn't lie to you. They needed a deeper conversation because there was so much happening that I was like, yo, I didn't get to talk about in my review that I thought, let me talk about them in you know, on this live. So, you know, yeah, that was interesting as well. Let's get Brett and Tiffany. We'll keep it short, but Brett and Tiffany, you know, we'll talk about them. Let's go to them. In fact, let me do Micah and Paul because I want to keep it short. Micah and Paul, you know, there wasn't much else going on. Keep it short with them. Yeah. All right. I must confess, it's my loneliness. It's killing me now. And you know, I still believe. Hey, listen, don't watch about Britney Spears, bruv. All right, cool. Let's have a conversation about Paul and Micah and hear their conversation as well, because I think that's interesting as well. Let's go deeper into them. Okay. Let's get it.
Gravity. Okay.
Thank you. I feel like we're giving ourselves like as much time as possible before like being like completely like certain. I feel like that's good. I feel like it just shows that we like actually want to make the right decision.
Yeah.
All right. Paul and Micah. So Paul has already dealt with the madness, the first madness of the friendship group that he had to deal with, right? Now, what's really interesting is how Paul handles is how Paul was handling Micah. There was something that he said that made me think. Okay, all right. Honestly, the way that he dealt with with Micah, interesting. Did you hear him say, look, we have to look at Paul deeply, right? So we know previous episodes that Micah met his mum, right? And what we saw was he explained to us that he's not as emotionally connected, right? This is really important. So he's not as emotionally connected. But what's interesting is that in the conversation with Micah today in episode 9, he says, hey, I find you so attractive that does make me a little bit fearful of losing you. I said, oh, so now if he feels like she's so attractive that he's afraid of losing her, oh, sorry. There's gonna be some moments where he gonna push back. This is why the house situation is a big thing, right? The house situation where they're gonna move. He's like, no, go with me, and you're gonna have to take some of your clothes away. Okay, just saying. Okay, yeah. So that was interesting as well. But let's just watch this part.
It was 100% smart, but it also gives me an incredible amount of anxiety.
If we like were to like get married, I don't know if my stuff would fit into your like life.
You need a bigger spot?
Yeah.
My place is pretty empty. Or did you?
So this conversation about the house situation, yeah, it's kind of mad because it's all about them moving and stuff. But I was like, wait, I don't know. Something's off for me. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but something's off for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you guys see it, but something's not quite right. Okay. Something's not quite right. And I don't know how to best put it. It's like I can't put my finger on it. You know, I think that's what it is. Elsie, I think that's what it is. I get, because even in the conversation, he agrees, but then doesn't agree. It's like he says yes, but he's saying no at the same time. That he's conforming outwardly, but doesn't conform within. And it comes out in the conflicting way that he deals with her. You know what I mean? So it's like he gives a little bit of pushback, but he's joking around with the pushback because he's afraid of losing her. But the reality is he ain't gonna have it. And that's gonna cause a bigger issue because you got to stay true. Do you want it or you not? Are you against it or are you for it? Be down the line and direct. Don't shirk and jive. You know what I mean? Shuck and jive, you know?
I think the opposite.
I mean, there's no closets or anything. It's so difficult because like all my stuff's like in Scottsdale.
I feel like you want to keep your place in Scottsdale, so it's like we could leave a lot of that stuff there, and like bring like some essentials.
I'm thinking like clothes and like shoes.
So he lets her know, listen, hey, look, yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, he's afraid to say no strongly, you know. So I don't know. It's like he's almost afraid of MICAH because she's really pretty. That's what he actually ended up saying, right? So if you're afraid to lose someone when you find them attractive, you go and shuck and jive a little. You know, you go and shuck and jive a little. You know, and that gonna cause some issues. I want to get to that part where it says, okay, yeah, fantastic. Here we go. Let me go in this. I think it's here. It's a little bit further on.
I think that sucks.
Would you want to
Oh,
come with me to Scottsdale?
No,
Well,
but I would. If I can get my job to go fully remote, I would definitely come with you there.
okay, cool. I think you might have just heard it, right? Something that he just did there, right? He said no, and then said, okay, I will. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, he said no first, and then said yeah after. The duplicity, and he does that a lot. I'm like, yo, say yes or no.
Wouldn't move there, but you know what?
Hold on, let me go back. I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna kick it back. Because he said no first. I was like, wait, bro, either is yes or he's a no. Which one is it?
No,
well,
but I would. If I can get my job to go fully remote, I would definitely come with you there.
Here we go. Hold on. Here we go.
would you want to like do long distance from me?
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. I think that sucks.
Would you want to come with me to Scottsdale?
No,
Well,
but I would. If I can get my job to go.
See, he said no, but said it kind of straight and then kind of joked and then kind of made it like it's a joke and then said, but I would if my job would allow me to. Da, da, da. No, then, bro. Okay. No, just say no. You know, just say no. Just say you ain't, that ain't it. You ain't about it. That ain't what you're trying to do. Just say no. You know, like, and leave it at that. But it's kind of odd that he doesn't do that. So for me, it's a bit weird to kind of see that behavior. So I'm like, you're shucking and jiving. You're shucking and jiving because you're afraid of losing her.
I would definitely come with you there. I wouldn't move there, but you know what? I won't even say that much. I'll go ahead and let an open mind with the possibility that I would move there. I could probably be convinced.
I wouldn't want you to be somewhere you're not.
See, so it's like, again, I don't know. He said, so he started off with saying, you know, no, I wouldn't want to go there. No, no, actually, do you know what? Okay, you know what? Maybe I could go there, but you know, maybe I can be convinced. I'm telling you, you gonna get. She gonna like you can't play Paul, man. Paul will go and give you up and down. But if he ain't gonna do something, he ain't gonna do something. But he's also afraid of losing her. You know, it's like I don't know. It's a bit weird. It's weird to see that. Could be the editing as well. Could be the editing. Not sure that 100%, but it just feels a bit weird just listening to how he talks about the situation. It's yes, it's either yes or it's no. Which one is it? You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get this.
Like several years by like a girl or anybody really. That's something that I knew that I was missing in my life. They're the thing that I'm the most attracted to on earth right now. So like, I would be lying if I said that I wasn't afraid of losing you.
Look at Micah's face. She's about to ruin him. The one thing that he had going for him, okay, is the one thing he had going for him was that, you know what, out of Kwame and him, he seemed like the one that had more, I would say, mystery and wasn't so obvious with how he felt. And also he seemed to be more in check, not allowing her to, not just like blurting out how much he loves her. Do you know what I mean? Whereas Kwame did. So I felt like in that moment that, you know, she was respecting him because he was telling her no, right? She liked him more because he's able to tell her no. Now, in this instance, if you hear him, when he said, obviously, oh, when he says, well, basically, I find you're the most attractive thing to me on this planet right now, and I'm scared of I'm scared of losing you. Micah's face lit up like a shot. Look at her face. So personally, I'm listening. I think they could be great. I think they could be good, but I think the power dynamics are going to pose the biggest issue. You know, it's going to be the biggest issue. So I don't know. Listen, I don't want to say I don't have much to critique him about, but Michael was smiling from ear to ear like she just won this guy over finally, and finally, you know, she's got some power now. And I'm like, you gonna find out that Paul may give you the power and he may fall short, but when he decides to bark, it gonna be mad. It gonna be big mad, real mad. You know. So we'll leave them. We don't need to talk much about them. We'll leave them as well. Let's go Britt and Tiffany. Let's talk about this Black Love saga. And Tiffany, Black Love reigns. Okay. Now I've got a review coming up for Brett and Tiffany later on today, I think, or tomorrow. And let me be honest with you, I like them two together. I had one concern that I put in the video. My only concern was how he doesn't, you know, struggle with "I love you" word, and you know that aspect in terms of him telling a story about how women tend to judge him for his past background or whatever. And I was like, okay, but that's about it. Not necessarily anything crazy. Can't lie to you. You know, I think they're pretty good together. So let's go. Let's go.
Understood me, and then not just understood it, but then wanted to take it and say, I want to support you, and I want to continue to like help you be a better person.
With Brett, I felt like I could talk to him about anything, like value.
Okay, so I really liked the situation with Brett and Tiffany, because again, once more, we got to see their friendship group, and they only had great things to say about each other. I think what was really good was, you know, how they both, when you listen to them, you hear explanations of why they like each other. That's what you want to hear? When people like each other beyond just you being physically attractive, you hear how much they like that person and what they do and what they're about and et cetera, et cetera. You love that. You love hearing it because that's a true authenticity. Okay. Someone said Brittany, love that. You know, that's a true authenticity that comes with their relationship, you know? And so this is great. You love to hear it. You love listening to it. Now, you know, you can see some vulnerability there as well. He's talking about feelings. She's talking about feelings. You know, I don't know. It was interesting, you know?
And family, finances, history. He just lets me be me because I feel like I've dated a lot of people. So I just kind of knew what I was looking for. I needed someone that understands struggle, but.
And I love this point that she makes. You know, I need someone to understand struggle. I need them to understand it. And I think she's absolutely right. Again, great conversation aspect. I think what I want to focus more on for Brett and Tiffany is I think there was one part where he spoke about, let me see if I got my notes. I got my notes on my side, so let me use my notes. Because there was a part where they spoke, I think he spoke about his past, about judgment. Yeah, I want to go there to that scene a little bit. Because I love their friendship group. I think they're amazing. I think they're great, and I think they have great chemistry and energy. You know, I just feel like, you know, they're just great for each other, you know. Aisha said she feels like they are, and maybe, do you know what? And maybe they're boring together. That's what maybe makes it work. You know, they're boring together. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't find them super interesting. I'll be honest with you, I don't. But you know what? What's interesting about it is the fact that they're boring together. Yeah. You know, they're boring together. So I can work with that.
See where I come from, and then when they see where I come from, there's like judgment for like my family and kind of decisions that they made and things that they've done. So it's like, if I'm going to bring somebody into my life.
So this part, I wasn't sure when he says about you know, I wasn't sure what this was meaning when he said that women are judging him for his past. I wonder if it's to do with, you know, I wonder if it's to do with the fact that, you know, he spoke about the generational poverty in his family and how he wants to change it. I wonder if that's what he's talking about, whether the family isn't as well off as he is. I wonder if that was the interesting part there. I wonder if that was part of it. I wasn't sure what he meant because it wasn't really explained out. It wasn't really drawn out. But I wanted to know more why these women were passing judgment on him. You know, what is it they saw that they judged him for? That's what I was looking for. You know,
life. Like, this person needs to understand that, and above all, like, support it, right? And like, that's all I ever got from her. Just kind of told her all I was feeling, and just for me, it was like.
And so, what's brilliant about this also is that he talks about, the support that she gives him, and I think this is really good. So let's have a real conversation about why, yes, they are boring for reality TV. They are, yeah, and I have no problem with that. You know, I want to see healthy love, and we need one of those. If we had one of those every season and had problematic people after, we'd enjoy the show even more. You know what I mean? But I think what's key about this is with Brett and Tiffany is that they both understand they need to support each other, and they've both gone through some things. I think that they see each other in a really beautiful way. And the way they look at each other is amazing. You know, the way they look at each other, I'm like, yo, you know, I loved seeing that, the way they look at each other, the way they look at each other with love and care, you know, and intentions. Monty, I was thinking the exact same thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was thinking the exact same thing. You know, and so to see it be the first Black love this way, healthy, happy, you know, enjoyable. Do you know what I'm saying to you? It's nice to see. Yeah. So, like, when we don't see the problems, or should we say when we see the toxicity, you know, it's nice. It's a nice contrast.
Like, really, like, letting my guard down. Like, I'm really seeing a future with you, and so many things that I guess I've been afraid.
And if you notice, I think she's rubbing his leg. If you know, her arm is moving. I think she's rubbing his leg. You know, it's rubbing his leg as well. So that's actually quite interesting as well. So I like to see it, man. You know what I mean? I genuinely think they have the best potential to really show us a different form of love on our screens when it comes to Black people on reality TV. I really do. You know, I think in this instance, and when I say boring for them, I think what we're really talking about is, and this is a good point actually. So when we talk about boring when it comes to Brett and Tiffany, it's regular schmegular. But I think also as well, we don't get to see what we don't get to see is more funner moments. I think that's why it looks boring. The reason why it looks boring is because we don't get to see the more flirtatious moments, right? And so that aspect is where the fun side can be had. If they showed us a bit more of Tiffany and Brett kind of flirting and being a little bit naughty, and not necessarily, you know, them kissing on the bed and him grabbing her ass, you know, but we're talking about obviously just maybe a little bit more of the spark. You know, we want to see more of that. You know, I think that's when I say boring, what I want to see is that. Okay, I want to see more of the spark. I want to see more of the romancing. You know, I want to see that. Right? So I think that's what it was rather than anything. So yeah, that's all really and truly. So yeah, but I think they're great. I think they have great substance and great foundation as well. You know, so that for me, there's no problem with them. No problem at all.
Is a very beautiful thing, and words are part of it, but actions speak louder than that. And the way y'all look at each other has been very inspiring. And to see a Black couple is a beautiful thing.
Look at her nudging him. Those are the more cuter moments. I want to see more of that. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of the little, I want to see more of that. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to see more of that kind of behavior where she's doing that and he's doing something. I want to see more of that. So when you see that, then you can really invest in them. And really be excited about it. It's like they're cute, they're nice, they're enjoyable. You're buying into them, That's all I'm saying in terms of maybe boring. It's that aspect. But we are happy because, like I said, we're just happy that he's caring, he's loving, he's appreciative, and we just love the fact that she is open, receptive, supportive, communicative. We happy with that. Okay, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Those kind of cute moments.
Yo, y'all are gonna make me cry.
Well, cheers.
Happy tears, happy tears.
I love it, man. I love to see it. I love to see it. So, hey, I am not mad at it. I enjoy it, the fact that they are, working and they're making it through. They don't sell reality TV, but I enjoy that aspect. Okay. Yeah, they're older couple. That's very true. They're ready to settle down. That's very true. Yeah. She may have to learn how to cook. That's very true. That's very, very true. She may have to learn how to cook because she almost dropped the pan last time. But let's talk a little bit, okay, about another couple. Let's talk a little bit about Kwame and Chelsea, because Kwame and Chelsea, whew, baby. I'm gonna focus more on the end, because I think I've already done a review. If you haven't watched already, go watch the reviews. But we're gonna focus more on the family aspect of him meeting her family. Boy. Okay, so let's get into it. Here we go.
Most beautiful thing. It was the day that I fell completely head over heels in love with.
Internet's bugging. Don't want to play the clip.
I was bawling my eyes out, and he was like, "This is your part, babe. Like, come on, sing." And I was like, I was bawling so hard that I was like, "Okay, which song?"
So, okay, I personally think Chelsea is invested in the fantasy. I think she wants to have the fairy tale love. I think she wants to have the fairy tale relationship. I think she wants to be able to be like, yo, I've done it. I'm so amazing. I've done it. I've killed it. I've got what we've always wanted to have. I think that's a big part of why she's promoting and the way she does. I think she really wants to do that. Now, her family are really great. Her mom is very open. The sisters seem very open as well. The family seem really nice. I can't lie to you. They seem really open and caring. So I think that was really great. And I think that settled his nerves. Now, what's interesting is we didn't get to see as much uncomfortability with Kwame when it came to the mum, as he did when he came to the dad. When it came to the mum, it was like, it was less of the nervousness. But when it came to the dad, he seemed much more antagonized. Maybe it's because of the way she told the story about how the dad are a bit stronger in terms of his judgments, but it didn't feel like, it didn't feel like he was as nervous in that instance or fearful of rejection.
I would say that she's
we
probably
made up a song.
He made it for me. Oh.
Yeah.
Do you play an instrument too?
I do. I play the guitar.
Wow.
I play the piano a little bit as well.
I have a harp in there just.
They got good energy, good vibes. You know, they got a good they got a good vibe going on, you know. And the family are just they just seem to be the family just seem to be very open, you know, one of those white families, sorry, the Caucasoid families who just seem to be just very open. You know what I mean? Like, and there's nothing mad about that. You know, I like that. You know, I like families that are inviting and you know are warm. A bit like Bliss's family too. You know, they are very warm as well, right? I don't know if Chelsea knows that he chose Micah first, but they've never really made it much of a conversational talking point. I just think that's quite interesting, right? It's quite interesting that they've never really made the fact that Kwame was going to propose to Micah first. He actually asked the question, and then chose Chelsea. Someone said Chelsea's family's giving them Get Out the film. You know, so I'm surprised by that. You know.
Missing a string, so we that kid said.
Yeah, we'll make the most of how many strings we have.
Now, my thing is this, right? I think once I was watching it, I was asking a key question: how would the racial dynamics come into play? How would the racial dynamics come into play? That's what I was asking for. So I was thinking to myself, the way that Kwame is laughing, I'm like, that's not how you laugh. First of all, I know that. But two, I'm like, yo, I don't know why, but I did feel there was some racial dynamics and how they would handle that. I felt like that they deserve that conversation. We need to ask that conversation, at least with Chelsea and Kwame, as we had discussed it, whether this needs to be discussed with the family too. Like, are they cool? Are they comfortable? Like, how are they going to feel about having a black person? You know what I mean? The child is going to be mixed race. You know? How are they going to handle it? So that was all that was on my mind. All I was thinking in that moment was the racial dynamics and how they would handle it. I dropped my earphone. But yeah, let's play a little bit more of the clip between the mom and him.
So, tell me, what do you think of Rocky? Are you a dog lover?
I am a dog person. You know, Rocky's actually, out of all the dogs I've met, Rocky
He's
is
pretty chill.
Yeah, top.
So they end up talking about the dog situation. One thing about Caucasoids is they're going to tell you about their dog, okay? The one thing about Caucasoids, they're going to tell you about their dog, all right? So, yeah, that was real, okay? So, I don't know. There's a real conversation. Yes, I do think that may be a little situation. There may be that as well. I don't want to jump too heavy on that, but I do think there could be part of that as well. There could be that aspect of, you know, fetishization, if you want to call it that. You know. So I think for me personally, what I see, and that is very true. That is very true. Just have no black friends. That's a very true statement. That's very true. Very true. I didn't think of that, you know. At the time, I didn't think of that. You know, I didn't think of it that way. Okay. Yeah, it could be. Could be a little bit of a fetish, yeah. You know, it could be also it could also be that, you know, they're doing the exact same thing that black men do, which is some of them when they can't get and you know what, I saw it yesterday. I'm gonna be honest, can we be real? Can we be real? I was out and about, and as I was out and about, what I saw was a black male with I'm just gonna say it, you know, the white woman wasn't that great. Just gonna be say it honestly. She weren't. Okay. All right. She weren't. Okay. Not at all. And I wonder sometimes what happens is if you can't get the best in your community, sometimes people just go out. Just saying, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying. So maybe she couldn't get the best in her community. That's why she's going for the black man. Hey, I don't want to be, I'm just saying. It could be. I'm not saying it is. Just saying. Could be. You know. So yeah, I'm just say that. Yep. Okay.
As you can see, he means everything to Chelsea.
Yes, he does.
That dog.
Yeah.
Did you have dogs?
And do you notice something as well? Kwame can't look her in the eye. He consistently keeps his eye contact away from her. You notice that when he's talking to the mum, his eye contact keeps looking down. He's not looking at her. That tells me there's anxiousness and some nervousness there. You know, but he keeps looking away from the mum. Every time they're talking, I'm like, oh, why does he keep doing that? You know?
Growing up?
When I was back in Ghana, we had a squirrel.
Oh, a pet squirrel.
I know, it's first time I've ever heard him.
Come when you call it. Here, squirrel.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool that you get along.
Listen. Let me be real with you. This goon, I know this laugh. I know the talk. I know the tone of voice. That ain't it. Okay, I'm telling you that tone and that laugh, you know, yeah, you know. So you know, and because I do it. I code switch. I know what I'm doing. I code switch, and that is the white laugh and the white voice that Black people do when they are trying to code switch and trying to fit in. Okay, yeah, you know. So you know, it's really amazing. You know, you have this dog. And let me tell you something. I've got the white jokes down to a T too. Like, I'm just be honest with you. If you're white and you're watching this, we just saying that we have different types of jokes and we have different types of humor. Okay, the way we joke, you know, you telling the pet squirrel conversation, yeah, we wouldn't have told it that way. I'd have been like, yeah, obviously, man had a pet squirrel back in the day. The vernacular changes, you know, the speed of the words come out my mouth, you know, I change it, you know. I'll be like, yeah, listen, yeah, obviously, you know, I had a pet squirrel in the day. Yeah, the pet squirrel was my guy, you know. Me and him used to run together. But there's another way that we deal. You know exactly what we're talking about when you want to tell that in the white, when you want to fit in with white folk, we tell it differently, you know. Yeah. So I mean, I did have a pet squirrel, and yeah, we named him Earl. And you know, he was quite the companion. Yeah. But I mean, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, I know it's quite different than, you know, how, you know, you love dogs, but you know, it's still something that it's still something that, you know, kind of it's quite similar. Yeah. Yeah. You bet. Yeah, so you know, it really is it's something that is, you know, it's on my mind, is plaguing me, you know, the pet squirrel. No, I mean, you know, I think for me personally, the reason why, you know, I had a pet squirrel was because, you know, I just felt the gentleness of that pet squirrel. And you know, you know, it's interesting to see how animals in the wild, you know, they can be tamed, you know. You know, you ponder on these things, you know. Yeah, so I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, of course, absolutely. No, I would, yeah, no, not, you know, I totally understand. Yeah, like we know that ain't it. We don't talk like that on a regular basis, you know what I mean? But we know when we're at work, when we're around white folk, that's how we gonna joke and laugh. That's how we're gonna tell stories. Okay, you know, you know, like you just it don't come. We know, and it's so annoying because I don't laugh like that, bro. That and when the joke ain't even funny, but I've got to try and code switch to make you feel comfortable. So I'm like, yeah. You are funny. I gotta admit, you are funny. When I don't laugh like that, I don't laugh like that. We know we don't laugh like that. Come on, you know you don't. You know you don't laugh like that. So like, you know what I'm saying. So it is a real thing. It's a real thing. People who code switch, and if anybody's white here, This is what we're doing to assimilate into your world. In order for us to feel comfortable, in order for us not to be called out, in order for us not to be labeled ghetto, in order for us not to feel alienated and to not feel rejected, we have to assimilate into your culture. And when we assimilate into your culture, we have to almost lose our identity in order to fit in. Right? This is a difficulty. Right? Because see, our particular code switching is different from anybody else's code switching. Our code switching is life threatening. Sometimes it's life saving, you know, because very quickly you'll be called ghetto. Very quickly you'll be called he too black, right? Do you see what I'm saying to you? Right? So when we talk about code switching, it happens because, you know, we have a white dominant society in terms of power and their system. And in order for us to be able to not be labeled a threat to the system, we have to code switch. That's the reality. So if anybody's white and they're watching this, I want you to understand that it's not free. It's not just about conforming. That's different. Code switching is literally sometimes life saving. You know, just saying. Because I had a few white people kind of comment on my other reviews. So I want to be very much conscious and aware. Hopefully we can help them. Okay. So, you know, so it's just one of those things, you know. Yeah. It's real, you know. So that's a real conversation. Maybe we'll have it one day, but you know, the code switching is a real thing.
With them. So tell me about how old were you when you came to the States?
I was 8 years old. I was walking to the airport with my brother and sister. And
so you have a brother and sister, and are you the oldest? Or
no, I'm the youngest.
Young.
Okay, so you know, I think you know, and listen, that's why I said he's code switching, because he downright know that's a tough look. Ain't nothing but black in him. Okay, he know downright well that him saying, you know, that's a tough look is downright, that's the black in him. They you know what I mean? That wasn't nothing to do with you know, him being, that laugh was out the window. That's a tough look. He was tired of code switching, you know what I mean? Listen, hey, listen, you ain't lying. He did the whole, you know, listen, and you know, I do have to say, you know, that this situation, you know, it presents itself in a particular kind of way. And, you know, I'm coming from Ghana when I was 8 and arriving here at that time. I also saw, you know, how difficult it was for me to assimilate into the community. You know, and it's one of those beautiful things in life we call a juxtaposition, you know, that there is beauty and ugliness in the way we live life. And, you know, it's one of those things, you know, and that's what it is, you know. So there are those things that we mirror to stay alive, you know. So he's got it down to a T. I'm just saying, you know, it's real, but it is something we're having to do to make sure we're not called a certain type of name. Okay, all right. So just saying, you know. As for me, I'm gonna talk my ish. Okay, you're gonna get this work. Okay, all right, you're gonna get this work. So, yeah. So I say one entire nation. Ooh, Asem, no, yes, Asem, Abna, Asem is real. Okay, all right, cool. So, let's get into this. All right, cool. I've already kind of done a reviews on them too, but I guess the second one hasn't come out just yet. So let me break it down a little bit in terms of that conversation.
Yeah. Sit here. We're getting into the last stretch, and I'm going through a lot, and I'm trying to find moments where I could be by myself. But wherever I am, I'm in her space. Just like it, just in certain points, it can feel suffocating.
All right, cool. So, in my review, I already talked about Chelsea, so I don't need to go too deep on Chelsea because I've already gone talking about that in the review. What I will say is that the aspect of Kwame, the difficulty of Kwame is that he is very sensitive. He's very sensitive, very sensitive. And because of that sensitivity, he's going to pick up on little subtle changes and little subtle fluctuations in the atmosphere with Chelsea, right? Because the reason being is because his form of rejection has made him more sensitive to when things change. And when things change, you have to almost kind of set your system to notice these changes so that you don't get rejected. So his body has learned how to see things before it's time, before he gets rejected, so that he doesn't feel pain. And I think what's happening with Chelsea is that there's an oversensitivity. I'm not saying that Chelsea isn't doing what she's doing, but I think there is an oversensitivity because he's trying to avoid being hurt and rejected. So when she says what she said about, in that moment, about, you know, do I look okay? The reason why he got so hurt by that, again, is it's a form of rejection. I'm being nice to you and you're rejecting me, right? I'm being kind to you and you're rejecting me. So there's an oversensitivity there based on what he's gone through. And so, you know, I think he handled it well, but I think he's going to see more of those moments. I think he's going to see more of those moments. You know, he's going to see lots of more of those spurts from Chelsea, and his sensitivity is going to cause, it's going to be a big problem. Like, they're going to have more arguments, you know? Yeah, it definitely was. He definitely was feeling overwhelmed because she's second choice. Number two, also, Mandem, we don't like going shopping without girls. Mandem don't like going shopping with girls because girls be doing too much. Ladies, I love you. But if you've ever gone shopping with you lot, it is annoying. Y'all will be doing the most. When ladies go shopping, they'll be like, they take 4 or 5 outfits. Babe, how does this look on me? They be like, babe, how does this look on me? Does it look good? Does it look cute? And then you be like, I think it looks all right. Is that all you're going to say? It looks okay? Babe, if you like it, I love it. No, but I'm asking for your opinion. I'm like, yo, babe, okay. Yes, it looks good on you. Oh, so it just looks good. And they're going to do that for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different dresses. How about this one? How about the color? Does the color fit? Does it look good? Is the color good? Like, yo, I'll be like, yeah, man, come on. Come on. You know? Y'all be asking, And then we're going, then we're gonna wait because you're going because you have to try it on in the you gotta try it on in the changing room, which is fair because I know for ladies, different sizes on different dresses, the way they're cut fit differently. It's different to men, which is fair. So I understand that. But you're gonna have to go into the changing room with your 5, 6, 7, 8, and be like, okay, babe, I tried on. Some of you be like, babe, can you come in with me? Can you come in with me? I just want you to know so when I try it on, you can see how it looks. And at that point, I don't want to try. I don't want to come there. Okay? At that point, I don't want to be there. Okay? At that point, I don't want to be there. I don't want to go into the changing room now and look at what you're doing. Okay? It's like, yo, like, oh, I don't want to do it. So you get into the first 5. You get into there. She's put it on. What do you think? She's doing a little twizzle. How's it look? Baby, does it look good? Okay? You know? I mean, it's working for you, baby. Yeah, your bum looks nice in it. It looks good, you know? And it's like, yo, then she gonna be like, okay, babe, 3 of these out of the 5 are not working for me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back out there. I'm gonna grab some more. If anything, your girl will even send you back out there. If she likes the dress but the size ain't working, she's like, babe, you know the blue dress, can you go and get a bigger size for me? She ain't go back out there. She's gonna send you back out there. Okay, before you know it, you're doing errands up and down, up and down. Now you gotta go and get the next dress, go and give it you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, yo, it is stressful shopping with women. I'm telling you, it is stressful. So I knew that he was stressed straight away when he was going to shop with Chelsea. Yeah, I knew. You know, like honestly, it'd be stressful. You know. You know, so it's stressful. But, you know, all jokes aside, the reality is that he has chosen Chelsea second. So his patience and his endurance isn't much. Okay? His patience and endurance isn't much at all. Okay? So honestly, Chelsea's going to get the bad end of the stick as well because he doesn't want her like that. Now, if he ends up marrying her, that's his business. But it really and truly, let's be real. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it funky. You don't even want to be moving to another place. You want to stay in Portland, right? And she's talking about Seattle. You don't even want to move to Seattle. You get me? You don't want to move to Seattle, but you're having a fight now about even moving to Seattle. And it's because you don't want her, number one. Number two, you got to be real. Be real. Be real. You don't want to go. And she told you have to go, basically. Right? But remember, Kwame is too accommodating. He told us that. I think it's a few episodes ago. Kwame told us he's too accommodating. Well, if you're too accommodating, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get railroaded. So Kwame's going to do this relationship for 5 years, maybe 5 years of marriage. And eventually, he going to find his strength. And he going to find his voice. Okay? He going to find his strength. And he going to find his voice. Okay? And when he does find his strength and he finds his voice, he ain't going to want to be in a relationship no more. He ain't going to want to be in it no more. So for me, Kwame needs to find a backbone, some boundaries. We need him to actually be stronger in saying, no, I don't want to. And yes, he's stuck in the people pleasing because he's been rejected before. So he's trying to avoid being rejected. But the reality is you need not to cave in. You need not to. You need not cave in for this stuff. Right? You need not to. You don't need to be caving in and giving into any suggestion because you will end up being frustrated. You get me? You end up being frustrated. It'd be like that. Okay. Someone said not gonna last 5 years. Yeah, we'll see. Ooh, baby. Madness. Trust me. But let's look. I just want to go forward a little bit.
Next time, I'll just say you're beautiful. I'm sorry. I just complimenting you the only way I know how.
It's okay. Wait.
Okay.
We are not done with those struck.
So if he says I'm complimenting you in only the way I know how, it's really interesting. He said it's a tough look. If that's the way you know how to compliment, you damn right know that is not how white folk compliment each other. Okay, it's a tough look. You damn right know. Okay, you damn right know. That's not how they compliment each other. You know this already. That is not how they compliment each other, sir. So you know you code switching. You know you're not giving us a fullness. That's not how they compliment each other. Yeah. So I don't know, but like I said, I don't go too deep in it because I've already done reviews for them, and you can watch those particular aspects. But yeah, with Chelsea and Kwame, she is literally going to she has control. She has control. She has passive aggressive amounts of control. She knows how to persuade him, and she leans on the fact that he's not very assertive about his own boundaries. You get me? Someone says trapped in the black. Oh, crazies. All right. Let's end it on the last note. Okay. Again, I've done so many videos on Jacqueline and Marshall. So I'll keep it short on this. Okay. Well, she said the ex, obviously, the issue the ex was he was controlling. So she couldn't obviously do that, with the ex. But she can do that with Kwame. I mean, she literally forced the strawberry in his mouth. No, actually, we actually have to deep that scene. That scene is actually mad. Like, when I deep it, how bad that scene is, it's actually crazy to me. This girl fully ignored what he said about the chocolate. Fully ignored it.
Good.
Let me feed you one.
I've eaten enough of these, baby. I'm good.
The brother said, I've eaten enough of these, baby. Okay? I've eaten enough of these, baby. I'm good. She said, no. But this part is that's not the crazy part. See, that's not the crazy part. Of course, she overrided his feelings. Yeah. But that's not the crazy part. No, this is the crazy part.
Okay.
You've already had one of these? You haven't had one?
No.
Oh, you did?
What? You've already had one of these? You already had one? Yes. I just said that. And the scene didn't even cut. I just said that. What the hell is going on? I literally just told you I don't want one of these. I've already had some. And you said, And then you literally go back into the conversation and say, what, you already had one of these? Yeah, I just told you. I just told you that.
You think I'm doing every single time you go back there to change?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's right. Why do I have to wait a week?
She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry now what? When you've been forcing it down my throat. When I told you, I told you already, I already had some. So why are you forcing it down me? And then you don't then pretend, you see, and this is what I'm scared of. I'm scared of this behavior. I'm scared of this kind of behavior. I'm scared of that kind of behavior. That you can literally forget within seconds. You didn't forget. She knew. Literally what they said. That's scary. Literally. Because you literally just forgot what I said. Within a second. But it wasn't that she forgot. She overrided him and didn't want to know. And she wanted to have her fantasy in that moment. Her fantasy was more important than actually his feelings. The whole chocolate and the strawberry was a fantasy, and she wanted to live that fantasy out. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Yeah? I was like, wait, what the hell?
I feel that.
I just want to do it.
But if we have to come down to earth for a moment, like today was.
Now, this conversation, this part here gets interesting, right? It gets interesting because I think a little bit later on, it's just slightly after this, there's a part where, and you know, I always think this is interesting, this part here. So she's already ignored his own, you know, I don't want any, I'm good, but she wanted to have a fantasy. And then this scene here, it be mad.
I never directed it at you. And it's a stress that we're under that's frustrating me.
I wanted to help you out. There's no need for you to.
Oh, this is
Throw
not the time
Chelsea
to.
under the bus, then I'm gonna fucking throw you under the bus.
Okay, throw me under the bus.
So you better get ready.
Go ahead, please do it.
This part was so mad for me. So mad. And you know what, Steph? That comment that he made was literally an acknowledgement of her living the fantasy and not in reality. Right? So he wanted to bring her crashing down. Baby, come back down. Because you're out here feeding me strawberries, but I want to keep it real. Okay? All right? So, yeah. But let me just play this clip again because it is wild.
I wanted to help you out. There's no need for you
This
to
is
start a
throw
fight with
Chelsea
somebody.
under the bus, then I'm gonna fucking throw you under the bus.
Okay, throw me under the bus.
So you better get ready.
Go ahead, please do it.
Where did this energy come from? Where did that energy come from? Where did that come from? Because I'm like, yo, why the sudden energy? Like, no, let's deep it. Why is this energy coming? Why am I getting this energy for, please? Let's be honest, he wasn't even talking up the things, you know. He wasn't talking up the things at all. Was not talking up the things at all. Literally, it was not even a hype moment. It was not talking about things. So it's confusing that she went that way. He's literally trying to tell her something. Let me just go back slightly so I can get
I never directed it at you. And it's the stress that we're under that's frustrating me.
I wanted to help you out. There's no need for you
This
to
is
start a
throw
fight with
Chelsea
somebody.
under the bus, then I'm going to
This is-
fucking throw you under the
okay,
bus.
throw me under the bus.
So you better get ready.
Go ahead, please do it.
That level of meanness, that's exactly what he was saying happened in the morning. So the very thing he said in the morning, where he said that she just got into, she had that energy for some reason. I said, you know, Chelsea's nice. She ain't good. She's nice. She also has dangerous moments about her too. I won't be surprised if she pulls a Karen on him. I'm telling you, I will not be surprised if she pulls a Karen on him later on in that relationship. I'm telling you, he better be careful. I will not be surprised if she pulls a Karen on him. Right? Because that shift was mad.
Do it.
It does not seem nice. It does not seem considerate. I understand the things, but you don't have to like nitpick every little thing.
I'm not nitpicking. I'm telling you how you approach things, how you go after conversations.
So she feels it's nitpicking. Okay. You're right. She feels it's not nitpicking. But the reality is he nitpicking or is he just telling her straight what it is? Right? Was that nitpicking or him just telling you what it actually is? Look, I'm trying to tell you, listen, hey, you hurt my feelings earlier on. That's what he's saying. You hurt my feelings earlier on. And she turned it into a moment about you throwing me underneath the bus. How? You know? Oh no. It's just yeah. It's interesting. You know? It's interesting that he's saying this stuff.
How you always want to like chase the fight. It always just feels like everything's so confrontational, dude. Everything's so confrontational.
I'm just direct. I'm just open. I don't like to like keep things in and harbor it.
Hold on a minute. So wait. So she gets to say, I'm just direct. I'm just direct. But when I bring it up and I'm telling you my thing direct, you now telling me I'm throwing you underneath the bus. Right? So when you being direct and I'm trying to tell you directly how you hurting me, you're telling me I'm nitpicking. Which one is it? Okay. Which one is it? I'm just wondering. Which one is it? You know what I mean? It's like you're doing too much, sis. Yeah, for real. You know. Yeah. Definitely hear that. So I'm just like, yo, like, this be an issue. You know, if I have an issue, I'm gonna bring it up to you. If I've had an issue and I address you, I'll bring it up to you. So you guys saying that he does nitpick? Does he nitpick? I don't know. Does he nitpick? Has he been nitpicking? I don't know. Maybe I haven't been paying. Maybe I just pay a bit more attention. You know. Maybe I have to pay more attention to that because I haven't been seeing it. I haven't seen that.
And like, I just don't do that.
Big difference between being direct and being confrontational, baby. Do I look or do I sound okay? Do I like that's not being direct. That's being confrontational.
Sounds like she might be recovering from past trauma relationships. Maybe, you know, maybe it's part relationship trauma. Starting to get to her, you know, and so she has two sides of her. You know, she has two sides of her. The dragon comes out when she feels offended or she feels hurt. You know, when he feels hurt, when she feels hurt or offended or feels like she's the bad person, that's when the dragon comes out. She's gonna say, "Enter the dragon." I don't want to know. You know what I mean? So there's some issues there. So if every time you're addressing something, you're gonna be getting to that space. That's gonna be an issue. That's also true as well. Everything about her is annoying. Yeah, everything about her is gonna be annoying because that's her second choice. So I'm with that. I agree. Last point, because we're going on to 2.5 and I need to get off. So I was gonna just chill. Okay. Let's deal with Jackie and Jackie and Marshall just for this episode. I know I've reviewed 9, 10, 11, but just for this episode, we're going to talk about them. Let's review them real quickly. I've done too many reviews already, so I'm not going to go too deep. Okay.
And it hurts. How do I go from being so sure about something, so certain, about anything that I've ever done in my life, to being so uncertain?
Okay, so Marshall's now telling us, you know, he now feels uncertain about his relationship with Jackie. And he feels like, you know, that the relationship is on the rocks a little bit because, you know, she ain't giving him what she needs to give. And obviously, clearly at the party, and this is mad as well, because this is after the party as well. At the party, you know, she spoke with Josh. You know, she spoke with Josh for the party. And, you know, he said his piece. He said he wanted to make it work with her, etc., etc. So, you know, I found that quite interesting, right? Because we know, I read into this. You know, he has to take some accountability because he chose a woman as a project. But nonetheless, you know, I think the biggest thing that we see with the issue with Jacqueline and Marshall at this point in time is the fact that, you know, this conversation is right after the party. This might not be the best time to have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, this might not be the best time to have a conversation. Can I be honest with you? That's my personal thought at this point. We'll play it in a second.
Clear. Whew. You need something to drink? Water? Something?
I need a water for sure.
Okay. So there's a conversation that needs to happen. Okay, look. If you don't want an argument, you're going to have to choose probably the right time to have a conversation. Right? If you don't want an argument, okay, you're going to have to choose the right time to have a conversation. They just got back from the party and he wanted to address something, but she weren't in the mood to address it, right? It might have been better just to say, let's sleep on this. Can we address this tomorrow? You know, let's talk about this. Can we talk about this tomorrow? We'll table the conversation. I want to talk about this tomorrow. Is that okay with you? Right? Just to avoid an argument. But of course, it would have still been an argument. You know, it still would have been an argument, I'm sure. But, you know, that would have been a little bit of a mad one.
I'm tired. I had a long ass day. How are you doing?
Seeing everyone else tonight.
So, okay. So now obviously she's let her know that I'm tired, you know, I had a long ass day, you know, and etc. You know, I get it, you know, and I'm saying I do understand this. Look, I get it because you're feeling heat at the moment. You know, you're feeling heat at that moment. And I'm saying again, if you want to avoid an argument, then you do it. If you don't want to avoid an argument, by all means, choose that time to hit it. Okay? If you want an argument, by all means, choose that time to do it. I'm like Marshall. I've been in that space. I know. I've been like Marshall. I've been in that space where I'm like, you know what? I want to attack it now. And the reality is the reason I want to attack it now is because I feel like distance will creep in if we don't address it right now. you know. And what it is, and this is for any healthy couple as well. I want to let you guys know something. Oftentimes, arguments happen between people because people are fearful, and it may not seem like it to you, but to the other person, they may feel like there's distance being created in a relationship. So they want to address it now to get it out the way so that the distance can't grow. And so what they actually really need is comfort. What they need is assurance in that moment. So sometimes what you might need to do for your partner, if they're a person who wants to address it right now, is say to them, listen, look, I still love you. I still care about you. And I really do appreciate you. I want to address this tomorrow. I'm tired. I'm not in the best space to discuss it right now. But listen, I care about you. I love you and I appreciate you. I want to let you know I'm not going anywhere. And sometimes people need that assurance in that moment to let them know that you don't have to address it right now. Okay. I know you want to address it right now, but I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm not going anywhere. And oftentimes that is where the problem actually starts. People are fearing that the fear of abandonment or the fear that you're going to leave or it's going to create too much distance. Okay, as well. So I can understand that. So just for anybody out there, if you're listening to this, if you're one of those people that want to address it straight away, I was one of those people and I definitely understand that. So I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying to you, the reason for it though, is oftentimes because you're fearful of the distance it's going to create, which is going to lead then to a breakup. You know what? You can say to your partner, listen, hey, the reason why I want to, and for you too, you can say to your partner, hey, the reason why I wanted to address it right now is because I'm fearful of the fact that, you know what? Distance is going to be created between myself and yourself. And I'm a little bit scared that, you know, you're going to leave me. I know that's not what's going to happen, but that's how I feel about the situation. So addressing it right so that the other person knows. This is why conversation between partners is so important. So people know that, you know, sometimes in that moment, the reason why it wants to be addressed right now is because the person is feeling like they're going to leave. So just let your partner know, look, hey, look, that's not the case. I'm not leaving you. I'm not trying to thingy, but right now I'm tired and I can't address the issues the way I want to. I want to be able to talk about everything and I want to give you my full attention and time right now, but I can't do that, right? So I love you. I care about you. I ain't going nowhere. Let's go to bed, right? And that will do better because even you saying, let's go to bed together, you know, will show that person you actually care about the person, you know? You know what I'm saying? So that's all just to help people as well because it is tough sometimes as well. You know, but we all need a reassurance in different areas. And sometimes that is one area as well, you know.
I need you to lay it out for me plain. What do you need from me? What do you require from me so that I know moving forward? That's it.
Oh my God. I can't talk about this anymore.
She was like, I can't talk about this anymore right now. I'm done. She's like, I can't do you up right now. Ah, okay. All right. So she was like, yeah, right now, I ain't gonna talk about it. Okay. Right now, I ain't gonna talk about it. Okay. You know, she was like, not right now. And maybe a better thing would have been like, okay, Jackie, look, I'm gonna need some reassurance. So when can we talk about it tomorrow? Would it be better? Let's go to bed today. Let's go to bed. Let's go to bed today on good terms. Let's go about this tomorrow. You know, let's go about this right now, right? And again, the reason, and you're right, Valmona, the reason why he asks what you need from me is because he's talking from a perspective of not necessarily being in control. He's talking from a very passive perspective. So he's always in a pleasing mode. Because really and truly, what do you mean? What do you need from me? Why does she need to do? Why is it not that what she needs? Why are you not telling her what you need? Do you know what I mean? Why isn't that you don't tell her what you need? Because the reality is you're catering again once more. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So that's what I'm saying to you. So in that moment, when he said it, the reason why he's saying it again, what you need from me, is because he's in a catering space rather than saying, hey, look, can I be honest with you? I need X, Y, and Z from you. But you know what? Maybe it's not the right time to talk. Let's talk tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. When we come back from work, we'll discuss this. Now, here's my thing. I've also been in situations where when you address a situation, the person doesn't want to go deep with it because they don't want to deal with tough conversations. They don't want to have tough conversations. They don't want to have conversations that are going to be painful to have. Running away from those conversations ain't helping nobody. I agree with that, Coco, as well. I agree with that 100%.
My brain is shot, Marshall.
Like, it's almost midnight. Can we talk about this tomorrow?
Now, let's be fair to Jackie. Can we be fair to Jackie? Because no, I've been slaughtering her, but I'm going to be fair to Jackie. In this moment, what she does, she actually says, look, my brain is shot at this moment. I'm shattered. Can we talk about this tomorrow? But he didn't want to wait till tomorrow. Right? What he should have done was said, listen, hey, look, tomorrow. You know, okay, cool. Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. We'll do it after work. We're going to talk about it. Right now, he wanted to hit it.
If that's what you want.
You're doing great.
Now, notice what he said. He said, if that's what you want, he was purposeful by saying that. He was letting her know, that's what you want. That's what I want. Right? He was saying, listen, it's not what you want. It's not what I want. It's what you want. When he should have been like, you know what? I hear you. I would really like to talk about this right now, but I see that you're tired. Let's talk about it later on. Let's talk tomorrow. You know, let's work tomorrow. You know? So this is, it's hard, and really, it is hard, Spicy B. It's very hard. It's very hard. It is not easy to do. Okay? It is not easy to do. It comes with practice. But for those people that are in healthy relationships, that have long-term relationships, they learn this aspect. They learn. And it's something that I've had to try and learn a bit more as I'm going through relationships, because, you know, when you're emotional, you get into a space where you feel justified in how you feel. But if I want the relationship to last longer, I have to know that right now ain't the best time to talk. You know? But it's important to learn some of those skills. But it's hard. You're absolutely right. It's hard to go to bed and not have this, you know, when you're burning. You know, when you're burning, it's true. You know? It's tough.
I don't expect anything from you. I think that you're doing just fine.
I was left with a big question mark.
Did you notice she said here, I didn't expect anything from you. I didn't expect anything from you. Do you know why? Because she doesn't. You are supposed to demand on her. Right? You're supposed to demand from her, not the other way. She's already told you she has no expectancy. You need to demand from her what you expect. Right? So he needs to let her know, okay, well, I have some things I need from you, but you know what? Right now ain't the best time to talk. So let's talk about it tomorrow. Hey, Andre, absolutely. Sometimes, do you know what it is? Here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing about anger and frustration. In the moment, your anger and your frustration can force certain actions on you. And sometimes you just need to just go away for a walk, put on the Xbox, listen to music, whatever, and let the anger subside, or the frustration subside, or the hurt subside, so that you can objectively look at the scenario and approach it in a particular way. Right? So sometimes, yes, sleeping off does need to happen. You know? Sleeping off needs to happen. Yeah. So the problem with Marshall is the need to feel in a good space. And it's this is one of my weaknesses, and I'll be honest with you, I can see where Marshall's coming from, right? but it really is a people pleasing aspect. That's what it is. It's people pleasing. You don't want to be disliked. This is why you also can't sit in uncomfortability. Okay? You don't want to be disliked. This is why you can't sit in an uncomfortability. The reason why Marshall's going to sit on it and think about it all day is because it is attached to how he's liked and whether he's good. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Right? When you have to, when the reason why your mind is, you churn on these things because you are thinking about whether you're good and you're liked. And so it makes it churn in your mind when really and truly you just need to take some time out. You know?
From me or internally because you have that question?
From you.
I thought we were fine. I thought we ended up fine.
Now, she downright knows that she ain't fine because she was out here talking to Josh. She knows downright she weren't fine. And she knows she lying. Okay? All right? She knows she lying because she downright ain't fine. Not everything's cool. She just doesn't want to discuss it right now. You know, but you know downright you're not fine. You know down well right you ain't fine. You know this ain't cool? Yeah? Absolutely. He definitely did. Definitely. Absolutely. You know? Absolutely. This is the honest truth. You know, he pushed because Josh was happening and he saw a threat. And I get it. I'm by the way, I'm not excusing Jacqueline, by the way. I've done videos on Jacqueline already. I'm just kind of saying this aspect, you know, from a healthy perspective.
You have some pretty eyes on you. You have some pretty eyes on you.
Thank you. Brett gave me a...
Nah, not her using manipulation in that moment. Wow. Jacqueline, the dark arts. Oh my gosh. Wow. Jacqueline. I heard it the first time, but I didn't even deep that, you know. I deeped it, but I didn't deep it. The dark arts. Wow. Oh, wow. That was dark arts in progress. Sis. She said it with a straight face and everything as well. I mean, he has got some pretty eyes on him. I ain't gonna lie to you. He has got pretty eyes. He has got pretty eyes. But in that moment, sis, she slipped for that. Yo, Jackie, yes, Jackie behaves like a man. That's the kind of stuff. You know when your girl's vex? You know when your girl's vex and you tell her, listen, you know, you're looking good, don't it? You know, just when you say to your girl, I like it when you're angry, though, you know, you look sexy when you're angry. Because you're trying to get her out of her mood and out of her funk. You know, you look sexy when you're angry, innit? Hey, stop that, man. Come on, man. Hey. Nah, do you know what? Did you notice that when you get angry, you're like, your nose flurs? Do you know what I like? You know when you're vexed your girl and you tell your girl something, you know, I used to always, when you're trying to get your girl out of the mood, you know, because she might be in the mood or she might be pissed off or whatever, and you just kind of look at her and you say, and you look at her and she's like, what? You know, when your girl says what, it's so funny. Your girl will be like, you look at, you know, as this is dark arts, I'm just going to be honest with you, we do all this, but it's like when your girl's vexed at you and you're trying to get her out of the mood, you just have to look at her and be like, and what she's going to do is she's going to go, what? It's like, nah, do you know what? I just noticed, like, you know, when you get angry, like your nose flares. It's cute, you know. Mad. I deeped it before, but I ain't deeped it the same way, right? Oh, okay. And like your lip, the way it quivers. I'm telling you, it works. It works. You just have to start paying attention to the little tiny details. I'm telling you, bro. Like, oh, you know, it's like your lip even quivers a little bit when you get angry. You notice that? I don't want to hear that right now. But the thing is, you have to, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah? Look, you know, and she's pissed off but she's hearing compliments at the same time. Okay, it works. She's pissed off, but she's hearing compliments at the same time. And the compliments aren't, oh, you look just standard beautiful. It's like when you start noticing little tiny details, it's annoying, but it's like, it works. I'm telling you, it works. Now, depending on the severity of the situation. Okay, it really depends on the severity of the situation. Now, if you cheated, that ain't gonna work. Okay, that ain't gonna work. Okay, that we're not talking about that. We're talking about basic arguments where we disagree. Maybe I done something you don't agree with. Okay, all right. But serious issues, no. Okay, no. We're not talking about serious issues. Light issues. Maybe I drank the last of the milk. And you know what? I've done that 5 times. And you're just pissed off that I've done it again. Then at that point, I'm going to drop, babe. You know, something, you know what I mean? Not when you've cheated. That's not when you've done something really, really bad, you know? Not the my bad when you cheated. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. Okay? All right? It's not serious issues. We do this when it's lighter issues, okay? Lighter issues, you can drop that bar to somebody and do it, okay? Yes, it brings the strength down in a room, you know? You know? Like, you know, it brings the strength down the room. It's just, you know, and it's fun. But my bad when you cheated, yeah, you're a prick for that still. But she dropped that bar here. Let's listen.
You have some pretty eyes on you. You have some pretty eyes on you.
Thank you.
No, Jacqueline. Yo, Jacqueline is a whole trip. Wow. You got some pretty eyes on you, huh? You got some pretty eyes on you. Next, you're gonna say, just come to bed, man. Just come to bed. You know, just come to bed, babe. Come slap my ass. Yeah, something like that. It's gonna remove all the energy in the room. If my girl says to me, come, you can come and lay on me. I'm gonna stop the anger, bro. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stop the anger, bro. Okay. Okay. So she was disarming him proper.
Advice tonight that I didn't know that I needed. It's time to protect my feelings and not sugarcoat or change anything.
Now listen. What happened here? Okay, let me tell you something what happened here. So this is what happened here, right? So what Jackie starts hearing, yeah, is she heard something different from Marshall for once, right? I'm telling you now, this is manipulation, but watch. This is so interesting. I have to break it all the way down for you to make it very, very clear in terms of what's happening here, so you understand what happened, right? But she's very clever and she's very skilled, but she also understands her feelings, and you know, she reacts out of her feelings in this instance. Okay, so here it is. She could deal with him saying about, I want to talk about it right now, I'm not sure, but now he started saying something very different. His boundaries changed, right? His boundaries changed. He literally started saying, hey, you know what, for you, you know, etc., etc., but for me, I'm starting to ask some questions. His boundaries are starting to change, right? Okay, so now at this point, you see her paying intensively to him. Her eyes are focused on him, etc., etc. But watch what she gonna do. Okay,
based off of how you're feeling anymore.
Totally valid.
Just tell me exactly what you need from me.
Pause. Now, what he did in that moment, he said, you know, basically what he said was, you know what, I'm changing the way I'm going to be basically treating you based on the way that you've been treating me. I'm changing my boundaries in a sense. I'm putting me first now, right? And she said, totally valid. And then he spoilt it again because he went back on it by saying, I'm trying to tell you what you need from me. Stop saying that, Marshall. Right? You spoilt it. You had some points in the bag, and then you double back up. This is what she means. Yeah, this is what she means, right? So now, when you go back on your word, look, you just told her you're instituting boundaries, beautiful. But then you went back to asking her, what does she need from you, rather than saying, this is what I need. You are on the right path. Let me be honest with you, Jackie. This is what I need. I need X, Y, and Z. Because what I'm seeing right now, this ain't it. I ain't cutting it. This ain't for me. But you keep going back to her to say, what does she need from you? And really, in that moment, that's the passiveness she's talking about. Right? You're looking like a little beat right now because you're going back on yourself. I'm not trying to say that she has every right to treat him wrongly. No, what I'm saying is he needs to learn how to be more assertive in his communication. Right? Because he keeps putting it back onto her. Because what he wants, and here's the reason why he keeps putting it back onto her. Because if she states what she wants, he will do what she wants so that he will then what? Receive back the love that he wants. It's really about validate. It's really more about him wanting to please her so that he can be looked at as being liked. But his liking is not in what she wants from you. Your liking is in who you are. I'm telling you. His liking is not in what you want her to do. Your liking is in who you are. And many of us men, and I was one of those. I'll be honest with you, I was one of those. Because when you're emotionally wounded, when your captain saves them, you are invested in saving other people. Right? You're invested in saving other people. So what you're looking for is, how do I save you? That will make me feel good. Right? That'll make me feel good. But what you're doing is now you're deferring the process of you actually saying, this is what I need. This is what I need. From you, this is what I need. Right? Let's go back into it.
Sugarcoat or change anything based off of how you're feeling anymore.
Totally valid.
Just
pause there. Listen, I want to play again what he said. He said, I'm not going to be sugarcoating things, based on how you feel. Okay. But the reality is, you're not sugarcoating based on how she feels. You're sugarcoating based on how you think she's going to feel. You don't know how she's going to feel. You're sugarcoating because you feel bad. This is what people pleasing is. You feel bad about the way that you think you're going to make her feel. But it's actually not about her. It's about you. Right? It's not about her. It's about you. And so she's not going to be, you're serving her. She's not serving you. Absolutely, Love Watch. Not sugarcoating the pancakes as well. You know what I mean? Okay.
Just tell me exactly what you need from me. So I'm not guessing through the night and guessing when we wake up, because you leave before I even start my day.
So he's back here again. Do you know? Listen. Look at her face. Cause all I need to get by, you're all I need to get by. Like, listen, let's keep it real, okay? You sport the thing. I'll show you, right? You sport the thing. Okay? Listen, he had her up. Listen, I'm going to go back. I'm going to play it forward again. Watch her face.
My feelings, and not sugarcoat or change anything based off of how you're feeling anymore.
Her head is up. She's looking at his face. Her head is up. He's looking at her face. He's got her attention, right? She's like, maybe he's changing now. Maybe he ain't gonna have it the way he was having it before. Okay, maybe he gonna boss up a little bit, right? He's got her attention. He's got her in lock. Yeah, he's got it locked, right? But something happens. He softens up again because he's scared again of hurting of him being seen as a bad guy and hurting feelings, right? So let's go.
Totally valid.
Just tell me exactly what you need from me, so I'm not guessing through the night and guessing when we wake up, because you leave before I even start my day.
Now she's there. Now she's there. Now she's like, you had it. You had it. You had it right there. You had it right there. Okay? You had it right there. And then you asked her again the question about what you need from me, rather than saying to her, listen, Jack, from here on outwards, this is what I need. Right? This is what I need from you. So going forward from now on, here's what I need. I need you to love me better. I need you to treat me better. I need you, when you're talking to me, that disrespect, we ain't doing it no more. Right? See, from now on, listen, when we're having conversations, that tone that you take, I'm not about it. And anytime you do that, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna exit the conversation. Because what I'm not gonna do is I'm gonna sit here and play with you like that. No more. He hasn't found his assertive voice yet. And like I said, I had to do some training. I had to listen to some books. I had to listen to some Audible books. I had to practice it. It's tough. It is tough. You are so used to being accommodating. It's tough. And still some parts of me are accommodating. I'll be honest with you. Right? There's still parts of me that are accommodating. So it's a work in progress. I am not saying it's all done. It's a work in progress. But the reality is he put it back in her court again about how he can save her again. And she's like, I don't need you to save me. I need you to lead me. That's what I'm looking for. Right?
But I always come back home.
But that does not mean that I'm not
Damn it.
thinking about it throughout the day.
I had an emotional day.
See, now we're back here again. She's like, I had an emotion. So instead of answering the question, she hasn't answered it. She hasn't answered the question. Right? She hasn't answered the question. Why hasn't she answered the question? She don't have an answer, number one. Number two, also, you've put her back here again. You've put her back here again. All right? You've put her back into the space where now you're asking how you're going to serve her when she wants to serve you. And I'm not saying that in a sense of serving in terms of taking on a complete load. What it means is you're serving her, but also at the same time, she needs to be led. Whilst you're serving her, and you're actually putting on the leadership on her as well. So whilst you are serving her, it's not a place of serving and leading. You're serving and giving up the leadership to her, when really should be letting her know, listen, this is what I'm expecting. See, she needs boundaries, and you're not giving it to her. Right? She needs some boundaries in space, and you're not giving it to her. You see what I'm saying to you? So in that moment, I'm not saying that Jackie's free. No, Jackie's disrespectful. She got some toxic traits, and I've talked about it in my other reviews. But now I'm talking about him, and I'm saying to him, in that moment, I get it, I hear it, bro, but you deferred to her in this moment. So now she's back here again at square one, saying, it's been emotional, it's been a long day, I want to go to bed.
I'm having emotional conversations with people that I don't even know what the fuck is going on. And I'm just like, I just want to go to bed.
I'm tired just as much as you are. I got to go into the office tomorrow. I got to go to Redmond tomorrow.
See? So it's like, yeah, you know, the situation now with I'm emotional. I want to go to bed. Just go to bed. You know what I mean? Just go to bed. You know, just go to bed. You know what I mean? So let her go to bed, talk about it tomorrow, and come back, you know? That's all. So for me, I think in this instance with the situation with Marshall and and Jackie, he needs to quit. Now she said it for a second time. Go tomorrow. Go tomorrow.
Be good.
We're not good. But I need to know exactly what you require from me so that I can move forward.
What I
He keeps saying it again. It's the third time he said it.
what I required from you is the reason why you left.
But
I'm not-
Oh, there you go. 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 You asked her, what do you need from me? Okay. You asked me what you need from me. And I told you what I needed. Okay. What I needed is what you left for. So now she's stressed. So now you're gonna get the real attitude.
I'm not saying that shit again.
So okay, so what are the examples though?
I can't give no examples. I know midnight, bro. Commercial.
So again, so he asks her again once more. He says, so what are those examples? This ain't the time to talk about it. Tomorrow. Let's talk about it in the morning. Sorry, let's talk about it in the afternoon tomorrow. Okay. Let's talk about this let's talk about this again. So instead of actually just talking tomorrow and reshuffling the conversation, we're back here again once more. We're back here again once more. You know, talking about the example. And it's like, I don't have the energy to talk about this again. Let's talk about this tomorrow. Do you get me? That's all. Whether we grieve or not, doesn't make a difference. Tomorrow. You know? So I think what we're seeing here in this moment is that he doesn't realize that the timing is off and it's causing issues. Now, that doesn't mean that she does what she does. She does what she needs to do. She does what she does because she does what she does. She's in the wrong. I'm not saying that she's right.
I think you are a great guy. I think you're so sweet.
This is the hug of death, boy.
Just love me.
My girl said, just love me. At this point, yeah. Right? At this point, yeah. Yeah. This girl said, just love me, you know. That's a form of manipulation right there. Just love me. Because she knows she has all the power. She knows she has all the power. So now in that situation, okay, all right, in that situation, notice that she didn't say, you know, I love you, you know. Did she say I love you? No. She knows what she was doing. But we'll have another conversation another time about that because I think that must be addressed as well. So, it's tight. Okay, it's tight.
Just love me.
Never give up.
It's a madness in the dunya. All right. I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Because that's it all done. Listen, it's crazy right now. You know, it's crazy right now, and it's manic. It's a bit of a madness. But yeah, honestly, people just need to be aware of the situation. You know, Marshall, sometimes just go to sleep, man. You know, sometimes just go to sleep. Just love me, you know. Just love me is a powerful tool at that moment. So, hey, listen, we're going to talk about this tomorrow as well. We're going to be live tomorrow, same time again, tomorrow night. You know, we're going to talk about this again. Yeah, and she knew what she was doing. She was playing him. She was playing him. No, Fully was playing him. And that's what I'm saying to him. Him keep asking, what do you want from me? Just tell her what you want. How are you gonna able to determine whether she's meeting your standard if you don't tell her what you actually need? You know, how are you going to determine your standard if you don't tell her what your standard is? You got to let her know. You know, you got to let her know. Hey, listen, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We had over 500 people come on this live. Are you dumb? Are you mad? You lot coming in strong, and I appreciate it. You know what I mean? So much appreciation for coming through. Thank you so much. It's actually appreciated so much. What I would say is we'll be here tomorrow. And we'll be on tonight as well. We got 2 lives, 6 p.m. EST. We got Put a Ring on It, and then we got 7:30 Ready to Love. So make sure you join us later on tonight. We've got 2 more lives. Unfortunately, I wasn't here on the weekend because it was bank holiday, so I was enjoying. But we got some great lives later on today, 6 p.m. and 7:30 for Ready to Love and Put a Ring on It as well. And then tomorrow, guys, I have 2 lives coming your way. Okay, I said I'm gonna bring some lives to you guys, and I've got 2 lives coming your way. I've got Dana and I got Blake this week coming up as well. So let me just bring that up so you can see it, so you know what we're doing. Here we go. I'm going to show you what lives got coming up. So if you haven't subscribed and put on the all notifications, you might want to go ahead and do that. Okay, you might want to go ahead and do that. So we got Dana first. We got Dana on Wednesday night. We got Dana. So we got Dana. We're gonna do a nice live. I hit her up. She's decided she's gonna come down. She's gonna talk. We're gonna have this conversation. Okay, on Wednesday, we gonna have that conversation. Okay. And then on Tuesday, my first Ready to Love interview, I got Blake, and we're gonna be talking about Ready to Love and his journey. So if you're around, if you're about, if you know what it is, okay, yeah. It's obviously only give you 1 hour. He gonna get more than 1 hour. We got questions, so he knows. Okay. So if you haven't, if you're not getting the notifications, just click on the subscribe button on us and then change it to the black bell. The black bell will tell you will make sure you're getting all the notifications. All right. So we've got both Dana and Blake this week. It's gonna be exciting. I'll arrange for more to come as well. So we'll get them lined up coming in the next few days and weeks as well. Okay. So we'll see what happens. All right. So listen, this week gonna be interesting. Okay. Diana, sorry. Yes, you're right. Sorry, it's Diana. You're right. It's Diana. I apologize. But yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys later on this week. And it's gonna be interesting. So like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button. Elsid, can you submit questions? I'll put up a post up on community page. I'll put up a post up for you guys to that. So like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for the notifications of the uploads. Y'all already know I can't leave you without
leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
You know what it is, baby. You know what it is. Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys. Still up, still later. We'll see you again very soon. Much love and appreciation.
Not on my watch.